Gang rape is funny.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what's going on here at QAM, I can tell you that right now.
You like it?
No, I hate it.
Rectum.
Don't do this, don't play that, and please, no fart sound.
No.
Cost of living out of control by corporate holes who have no regulation. Trainers get a free pass to roam, like Karl Rove, who leaked out information on playing your loyalty to this filth undying. You follow them into hell. Whoa, death, hate, and lies. You're under their control. Death, hate, and lies. It's you that they're owning, and they're owning your soul. But the crisis about a war that ain't no war. It's an occupation. Running babies in half for Christ, for the Uber ride in an advanced space station to fight. You don't speak out about criminal lying with Christian soldiers from hell. Whoa, death, hate, and lies. That's the Republican way of life. Death, hate, and lies. You let them keep running and keep running your life. Death, hate, and lies. They got you all under their control. Death, hate, and lies. You American Idol, lazy couch potato.
Now, there's a group we ought to do a poll on someday, the Grassroots. I love the Grassroots, but the only problem with that is...
What?
Who the hell knows from the Grassroots?
Me?
Yeah. What about Chris?
The Who? No, the Grassroots.
No, not the Who.
That's another show.
Not even the Guess Who. So, that's the problem with that. And Charlie B. sends me a self-congratulatory email this morning. Boy, that was a great show. Oh, if I do say so myself. Charlie, you're an idiot, but keep the polls coming, baby. Maybe someday you'll send us a good one. I see this current pile today. If you really did find a finger in your chili or a dead mouse in your Cheerios, what would you do? There's nothing worse than finding a dead mouse, especially in your pants. But at any rate, don't play any fart sounds, and don't do this, and don't do that, and that's what we're up against. The reason I'm sour on this is because I'm thinking about that trend coming out tomorrow morning, and I think it's going to be a disaster, because Clarence Darrow is the master of disaster. That's a 10:03 a.m. confession by the Grassroots. They don't know from the Grassroots, especially the punks. You think they know the Grassroots? For Christ's sake?
No.
Get serious. See, I was going to nail it right there, and then he chopped it off. I always does that, just to be a bastard.
Yes.
Just to be a P-R-I.
Yeah.
Whatever. Oh, don't play any fart sounds. Joyce is going to get all upset. You see, if there's any rationale behind the crap that they foist upon us, that would make a difference. Then I might say, well, okay, well, I understand. There is none. It's just something that someone arbitrarily made up. In this case, Joyce Fitch. And that Clarence, oh, well, gee, you better please, I'm the butt plug. Stop with the fart sound. You're an idiot, Clarence. That's all I can tell you, man. And, of course, even athletes, even jocks in the locker room occasionally fart. Oh, that American dollar. Thank you, Mr. What?
Huh?
Mr. President, thank you so much for those low gas prices and that really strong American dollar. Wow. Euro, and let me just say on the air before I get into this, before I start this abortive thing today, I just put everybody in the world on notice. Not that most people care anymore because it's way past that. But what I've been telling George and Chris before the show for the last few days is that one day you're going to turn on the radio and George is going to say, I don't know where the old man is, but he's not here today.
Right, I think he jumped.
No, I'm not going to jump.
But if you do, remember to take the mic with you.
Yeah, that would be fun listening on the way down.
Tape.
But I'm just telling you, one of these days I might just get in that nice new car that I am going to have in the next couple of days. Haven't got it yet, but I'll be getting it. And just getting that baby, and wouldn't that be nice to just, tool around?
Drive
of course,
off
with the price of
something.
gas and that very weak American dollar. The euro this morning hit a new record of $1.40. And the Canadian dollar, let me turn on the financial network here and see, it was 99.68. It was as close to parity with the Even Steven with U.S. dollars, it has been in a zillion years, which of course means no American tourists are going to be coming here, which that isn't all bad. But number two, for those of us who get paid in American currency and used to have a really sweet deal, now it's like hell. Thank you, Mr. President, for destroying the American economy with your butcherous war in Iraq, with your massive destruction of human life, with your lunacy, insanity, madness, while everybody's worried about, OJ was a setup, poor OJ. And the Gina 6, oh my God. There's Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson again, doing their usual grandstanding. It's just 99.92. Oh, the Canadian dollar is on the verge, baby.
Michael? Yeah, Pat, so the TSX Composite Index is down.
No, we don't care about the composite, you idiot. Speak English, Jack, a composite. That's sad. I mean, these are good people here, but stuffy in some cases, although not all of them. $1.40 on the euro. Do you know when the euro started? I think it was like worth about 79 cents. And then for a long time it was like 92 cents, 94 cents. And now it's $1.40 against the U.S. dollar. Markets are also nervously awaiting statements on the American economy by U.S. officials later in the day today. The euro has hit new highs regularly since the rate cut on Tuesday. It rose to 139.88 during yesterday's trading, and now it got to 140.06. So it means if you're going to be traveling to Europe, you better have some serious dollars, baby, or somebody else's credit card. Because you're going to have real tourists. $1.40. But, nevertheless, just, worry about the important stuff like OJ and Lindsay Lohan and crap like that. Here's the poll today, and Brandon's all excited about this. I told you it was good. I never said it was bad. I just said we've done it 40 trillion times, sweetie. Just relax. 915 votes on the poll today, so I guess we might be fairly safe to assume we're going to make 1,000, Chris.
Sounds good to me.
When you have 900 plus going in, I think that's not too bad. Best burgers in town come from or came from, it could be a place out of business, and some of these are. Fuddruckers is kicking ass, 211. Now, I thought that maybe that was getting a little freak job on there, that there were some people who were, loading up on Fuddruckers. And isn't the one there in Plantation out of business? Isn't it closed down? The one on the corner of Sunrise and whatever that was, Pine Island or... Huh?
I don't know. I haven't been there in a while.
It's gone. We had spy reports on it. It's closed down, I do believe. But, nevertheless, Fuddruckers 211, if they just wouldn't butter the bun. If you're one of those people with a sensitive stomach and you don't want to be having wild, screaming diarrhea, then tell them, I'll hold the butter, don't butter the bun, please, and then it's great. And I like that goopy cheese that you get to put on it, too, You know the one I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
The goopy, same kind of goopy cheese they used to have in the tacos back at Taco Soleil back in the day, before they closed down. Fuddruckers 211, Char Hut 150, Wendy's 85. Boy, that's a big drop down to Wendy's. I voted for Wendy's. Steak and Shake 78. I'm interested in that because all I hear is complaints. So after all the years I was touting Steak and Shake in the rest of the state, and then we finally got it. They have the best shakes, I will say that. Do you get the shakes when you go there?
I've never had a problem with their stuff there.
But the burgers, kind of fall apart. I don't know. Maybe not anymore. Maybe they straighten out their meat. Steak and Shake 78. Arnold's Royal Castle, which I believe is coming back soon, anytime, 70. Those great little Neely burgers. In-N-Out, 69. Well, I'm surprised that many people have heard of it or tried it, the old In-N-Out. That's in Vegas and I guess out west. White Castle, 69. Well, I remember those days. Checkers/Rallies, which is the same. And Checkers is God.
About 30, man.
Burger King 29, Hardee's 25. That's I don't know, Hardee's. Of course, we don't have Hardee's in South Florida at all. Haven't we been through this discussion a million times?
Right.
I like those shroom burgers they got at Hardee's. Those are pretty good. Why is it that the rest of the state has got so many? I just don't understand it. Crystal 22. It's not Crystals, it's Crystal, but that's okay. And there is that Crystal on Powerline Road. You ever seen that?
No.
There is one there. Well, you see Crystal every day. McDonald's 19, Crystal Queer. McDonald's 19, Sonic 18, Jack in the Box 15, Big Boy 14. Hey, Big Boy. Fat Burger 8, Burger Chef 4, Hot and Now 3. Oh, boy. Not hot and not now. What a piece of turd that was. And the only reason they started that was because Pepsi was pissed off that these burger joints were using Coke at the time. I mean, Coca-Cola.
Right.
And so they said, well, we're going to show you. We're going to put you out of business. We'll open up our own damn burger joints and drive-through places. And that lasted about, 2 minutes?
Well, they do have, Taco Bell is Pepsi-owned, and so is, what else is?
Kentucky Fried.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
And Vic and Irv's got 2 votes, which out of 933, they got 2 votes. They're long gone. That's a Rochester place. And they figured there's all these Rochesterians in South Florida. We're going to come down here and open in Fort Lauderdale and make a killing. Well, somebody got killed, whoever opened it. And you got a fax from somebody saying, hey, put Vic and Irv's on there. They had the best damn burger and yada yada. What did it say?
Oh, you want me to read it out of the garbage?
No. Oh, it's not worth getting out of the garbage. I'm just saying.
I did it. Please add Vic and Irv's to the list. They were only in South Florida for a short time. However, their cheeseburger with everything was the best I ever tasted. Says
How do you
Paul.
like that? And let me say it again. If you ever come to Canada, do not try Harvey's hamburgers because, wow. Man, mouse meat à l'orange. It's just nasty stuff. Nasty crap. Mouse meat au gratin. Anyway, here's the schedule for today. Let's see if we got anything good on today. Oh, that's right. We got the Hurricanes. Let's start the pregame show now.
Oh!
All right.
No.
I want to spin now. Give me a spec. Keep thinking of that guy, you know. What a jerk. What a jackass. Everywhere you go in life, there are jerks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's always got to be one jackass, idiot, who acts like he's never been let out of the house before. Give me a spin now! And he's pointing at that third wheel, you know. And the good thing is, the whole time he was doing it, he never got one spin. He lost his ugly, stupid ass. Mad Dog, let's see, 2 to 3:30. Oh, he's coming in for an hour and a half. Boy, that's really a whitey, baby.
All right.
Nice going. We need that. We need all the help we can get, especially with what Jolly Joe Bell is doing to this radio station. You are a butcher, Jolly Joe.
Yeah, plus it counts as one of his 210 days or something.
Yeah, it counts as one of his 85 days a year that he's working, so only an hour and a half. Nice scam, Mad Dog. I'm all for the talent. Hurricanes game day at 3:30, which is our 4-hour pregame show. We get a lot of spots in there, baby. I bet you that might show up on that abortion, too. Then we got UM football against Texas A&M, 7:30 tonight. If they get walloped again, boy, and let me say it, Texas A&M, they got an offense. They put some points on the board. Put it on the board, as the Hawk would say, and anybody likes Ken Harrelson and thinks he's a broadcaster is a crazy person. That was Josh Cordes thought that the Hawk was good, wasn't it, or was it you, Chris?
I have no problem with him, but it was probably Cordes.
You what?
I have no problem with Andre Dawson, but it was probably Cordes.
Not Andre Dawson, that's the wrong Hawk. Ken Harrelson.
I don't even know
wrong
who that guy
Hawk.
is.
You're thinking of like the Andre, and then there's always Chicken Hawk. UM against Texas A&M 7:30. Then at 10:30 after the game, it's Hurricanes extra point for another hour and a half, so we can squeeze a lot more spots in there. And then we got the Marlins stuff is on AM 940, which I don't understand this. But the Marlins and the Mets will be on 940 INZ. And then after all this cock-a-ride, game night with Eddie K. After the how can that be? How can game night with Eddie K? Where's that? Is that on 940 also?
It says he's on tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not on tonight.
Oh, nice job on the schedule, Clarence. You simpleton. You jackass. I got some fart sounds, only I'm going to give them to you personal, Clarence. I'm going to come down there and bend over and fart right in your face for hours. 10:13 at 560 WQM. Week after week, more and more people are taking advantage of Neil's half-price deals on WQM.com. And guess what? It's Thursday. Today's the day. Another big new restaurant offer starts at noon today. You can buy $50 gift certificates for just $25 to Lefty's Tavern and Grill on State Road 84 in Davie. They offer fantastic food and a really fun atmosphere. Go for lunch or dinner or meet your friends for drinks at happy hour. Dinner entrees include grilled or blackened dolphin, fresh salmon fillet, snow crabs, king crab, lobster, pastas, chicken and veal dishes too. And their steaks, filet mignon, and New York strips grilled to perfection. And their raw bar is really outstanding as well. Try their sandwiches, salads, and their famous chicken wings are a must. Lefty's Tavern and Grill. They're on State Road 84, just west of Hiatus Road. Call 954-474-1410. And thanks to me, you'll be able to buy $50 gift certificates at half price. The store opens around noon today, but act fast, because once they're gone, they're gone. And lately, they're moving fast like hot tamales in Mexico City. That's WQM.com, starting at about noon today.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Rogers got. Doi.
Way down yonder, in the heart of Dixie, the land of cotton and hypocrisy. Their drug labs are cranking out methamphetamine. Torches of peace and good are the lamps in the moon. Crystal meth sensation. The Christian redneck's new recreation. Crystal meth sensation. Crystal meth. All of God's children in God's country. Mountain Dew they are taken intravenously. Some hillbilly numbers, most definitely. They're horny, very poor, so they crave more. Crystal meth sensation.
Okay, it's 10:20 at 560 WQAM. I never was into drugs much in my life, but I think I'm going to start now.
Yeah.
Never too late to start. That's what George says.
Well, I'm saving heroin for my old age, you know, when I'm in a wheelchair with the IV drips.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no.
I'll have a rip snorting good time, because I'll be dead. I'll be
Hey,
pushing
I'm changing the channel.
daisies.
I'm changing the channel now.
Oh, no, they're putting that...
Yeah.
well, he's getting that surgery. They said he
That's
was bouncing
good.
around and all excited.
That's
I'm happy
great.
for him,
Me
but I
too.
don't want to see him in that condition. You right,
yes.
kid, okay?
God bless him.
Smarmy Ali or whatever his name is. I don't want to see that. Jesus, God.
Yeah.
Please add to the poll, Five Guys Famous Burger and Fries, recently opened in Fort Lauderdale, says this fax, has great burgers. This is from University Dodge, that fax. Interesting. Here's an email from somebody, Scott. Scott in Pinellas Park. He says, Pinellas Park is the only place that can make Tamarack look good. He says, I miss Charlotte like crazy, none over here on the West Coast. I remember there was an In-N-Out Burger on State Road 7 in Lauderhill back in the mid to late 80s. I must have missed that. Never saw no In-N-Out in Lauderhill. And it says, if you want the best burger, well, that's what the poll question is, Five Guys. They're based in D.C., but they're spreading out. One across the street from me here in Pinellas Park, their idea of a burger is a double burger. Their fries are cooked in peanut oil. Wow. So thanks, Scott. So let's add Five Guys on there. You got it, Chris, whatever your name
Yeah,
is?
Five Guys.
And
Chris, yes?
Ruth Chris?
Yes.
And wait till you hear this. Neil, where's the love for Whataburger, sir? Sir, I guess this is Bridge Tender Jr. You know, everybody's a comedian. Everybody is a wannabe. Huh? Where's the love for Whataburger, sir? Well, guess what? I never heard of Whataburger. Maybe that's why I ain't got no love for it. They just put one up in Melbourne. It's pretty good, but I voted for Steak and Shake. Well, was there ever a Whataburger in South Florida? It says, Whataburger is highly touted. They're out of Texas from what I hear. Well, what does the poll question actually say? It says, the best burgers came or come from... Well, we're talking South Florida. We're not talking about... Although, I don't know, maybe there is or was a Whataburger. What do you think?
Why not? I never had the
You want to put it on there? Go ahead. I don't care.
Right.
I'm easy.
It's free.
Doesn't cost a dime to put it on there. We can put all kinds of stuff on there. We got Burger Chef on there, which they've been out of business about 100 years ago. That was the place where they had the Fixins Bar. And you go in there and you get your burger plain or your cheeseburger plain, and then you put your own fixins on there, the onions and the ketchup. Kind of like going out to, you getting street meat, you know? Like in real cities, they have street meat. You go out there and although I don't think they have burgers, at least not here anyway. You got sausages.
Usually a hot dog kind of a
dogs,
stand thing, right?
Stuff you can cook on the grill, which you can cook burgers on the grill, but for some reason... They don't do that. Maybe they don't want them to peddle those E. coli burgers out there on the streets. I don't know what that's all about. So what kind of drugs would you suggest I should start doing? Because, see, Fat Ass Jolly Joe doesn't realize it, but I'm thinking like maybe the end of the year I'm just going to send him like a note. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to send it like email or anything quick like that, like in a bottle, you know.
Like a Post-it note?
No, like in a bottle. I'll drop it in Lake Ontario and hope it floats on down. That's a good idea. Maybe it'll drop a little number on his head, too, at the same time. I'll deliver the message. Hey, Jolly Joe, bye-bye, screw you. There you go. There's another one for you, Joyce. Don't do this, and don't say that, and don't play this, and don't do that, and don't... Beep, 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 beep. And this is the Beasley effing way, and these people think that they're going to be like the dominant state. They're in a dream world. They're losing it, baby. They're losing it bad. It's oozing and we're losing. Can't you feel it like oozing away? That's what I was waiting for that. Very good.
A little slow.
Yeah, I noticed. But that's okay, because when it's oozing away, sometimes you're a little bit, a little slow.
Not that we're choosing to be oozing.
Yeah. As opposed to losing or
Right.
cruising. We'll see tomorrow morning when that number comes out at 10 o'clock. Of course, it doesn't mean a damn thing, because I can feel it, I can smell it. You just know it.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be bad.
Huh.
972 on the poll. Whataburger didn't have any. We just put that on there. Five Guys got one. Well, whoopee-doo. You ever hear of Five Guys?
Nope.
I remember that Three Guys pizza place that used to be in Lauderhill. A lot of things used to be in Lauderhill, too, until all the white people moved out, but that's beside the point. I don't want to turn it into a racial thing. Oh, another explosion in Beirut. That was yesterday. See, give us today's explosions. Don't keep putting yesterday's crap up there again on CNN. Give us today's explosions and today's dead people and body parts, not stuff we already saw yesterday. Nobody cares about that anymore. We have a very short attention span. The Lesbianese government vows not to let the assassination derail their presidential vote. Well, good for those Lesbianese. Like my Lesbianese cab driver here. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
In fact, I think, what I tell you before the show, I think when I get my new car in the next couple of days, I'm going to park that baby right in his garage. And say, hey, buddy, when I'm ready to drive it, I'll let you know. I don't want it anywhere near this building. 972 votes, and Fuddruckers continues kicking ass for the best burgers, 221. Charhut, a very respectable second, 156, which I'm sure Joel will be delighted to see that, and Kimba Bocamper, too. One of our fine sponsors. I love Charhut. I used to tell you when I come back from the doctor after I go take my... You have to be fasting for your blood tests.
Yeah.
So I go see the pill doctor, what was his name? Dr. Bob, Dr. Dick, whatever his name was. I go see him, and then on the way back, as soon as they finished drawing the blood, I'd stop. There was a Charhut there in Lauderhill. Not Lauderhill. What is that? It's on Nob Hill Road. What would that be?
Sunrise?
I don't know.
I'm guessing now.
Well, whatever it was, there's a nice Charhut right there, and I'd go to the drive-thru and get me a nice Italian sausage with cheese and onion. Oh, baby. Wow. That'll set you free. Wendy's has 91, they're third. Steak and Shake 84. White Castle 74. Wayne Arnold's Royal Castle 73. They haven't forgot it. That's probably because it's our crowd. In-N-Out 73. Who don't like the old In-N-Out? Checkers or Rallies 33. Same stuff. Burger King 29. Hardee's 29. Crystal 24, Sonic 20, McDonald's 20, Jack in the Box 16, etc. Vic and Irv still has only 2, and Five Guys has only 1. Whataburger, in spite of that, what's wrong with the love for Whataburger, sir? It's on there, but even that jackass didn't vote for it.
The biggest
It's on
names.
there.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Rock Solid Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Counting down the hits with Casey Kasem.
Hi, I'm Casey Kasem. Welcome back to our countdown of this week's top 20 ringtones. We're up to our number 1 ringtone of the week. But first, our unlimited coast-to-coast, long-distance request and dedication. It's from Jessica S. She writes, Dear Casey, recently, my sister was caught lip-syncing on national TV. At first, she blamed her band. And then, she blamed her ass's reflux. Whatever that is. Anyway, Casey, since everyone thinks I'm the stupid one in the family, could you play Green Day's American Idiot for my sister Ashley? Signed, Jessica. So, from Jessica to Ashley, here's your unlimited coast-to-coast, long-distance request and dedication. That's American Idiot from Jessica to Ashley. Now, on with the countdown.
Casey's Coast to Coast.
But first, let's recap our top 3 ringtones.
Number 3.
Coming in at number 3, Rondo alla Turca by Mozart.
Number 2.
At number 2, that tune that sounds like heart and soul but isn't. And now, this week's number 1 ringtone.
Number 1.
For the 3rd week in a row, Waltz of the Flowers. There you have it. The top 20 ringtones in America, as tabulated by Phone Bill Board Magazine. Tune in again next week when we'll once again count down America's top 20 ringtones. I'm Casey Kasem saying keep your volume turned down and keep reaching for 4 bars.
I think Casey's a terrorist, if you ask me. 10:33, 27 before 11 at 560 WQAM, and we're getting now. Somebody says George will agree. Rudy's. Do you agree?
Well, we both would have agreed at one point. I would have
Once
voted
upon
for
a time, when
Charlie.
we were at IOD 100 years ago, Rudy's was right around the corner there on
They were
Biscayne
great.
Boulevard.
They were spectacular. They didn't last long enough for me to, really get
No,
into
it was too good to last long in
Right.
South Florida. If it's too good, the people of South Florida don't want anything to do with it. You know, like
But I
Rocky
did
Road
like
ice cream.
your own condiment that you could fix it up yourself and whatnot.
Really?
And there were sirloin
I
burgers.
never went inside. Yeah, Rudy's sirloin burgers. Rudy's is good. Get that on there. And somebody, Jeff, says, don't forget Jack's Hamburgers on US 1 in Fort Lauderdale. Okay, we won't forget them, but I never heard of them. Did you?
Nope.
You ever hear of them, Chris?
Nope.
But put it on there. Jack's Hamburgers, whatever. Okay. Hey, listen, we can have 50,000 of them on there, and then we'll get 50,000 vote. Each one will get a vote. But actually, it's only 10:34, and already we got 997 vote. Time I click this, baby, you might have 1,000 already. You know it? By 10:34. 998. Look at that. That's great. Nice going, Brandon. Outstanding poll. I mean, we've done it, 1,000 times before, but that's okay. In fact, maybe we'll do it every day in our never-ending quest to find the good eats, right? Speaking of that, don't forget we got lefties coming up on our meal deal starting at noon today. Now, we're never going to break the record we set last week. What was it, 9 minutes?
I don't know.
Is that what it was?
9.
Mm-hmm. Was that it, Chris? 9 minutes for last week?
Yes.
Wow. I'm pretty impressed. You'd almost think we had an audience out there based on that. If I sound depressed and psychotic, that's because I am. Because working for Jolly Joe Bell is like, it's like, I'm trying to think, it would be like driving a cab and all the roads are closed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your livelihood is driving a taxi, and there are all these people lined up who want to take a taxi to go somewhere. The only problem is all the roads are blocked. They're all closed. So no matter where you're going, you can't get there from here. So it's kind of an impediment. It's kind of like a roadblock to your success in doing and that's what we have here at WQAM. We have Jolly Joe Bell, who has come in and just absolutely devastated. Yeah, and I'm not talking dollars and cents, because that's all they think about. Oh, well, we got the billing up and we got record-breaking. The audience doesn't care about that. The audience isn't impressed by how much billing, by how many spots you can cram in there, like that hurricane crap we got later today, from 3:30 until everybody is geschluffing, till people can't till people have hurricane coming out of every pore in their body, And that's basically what it's all about. That's all I know. Well, we're going to make some money for the Beasleys, for the banjo-strumming, redneck, Yahoo, Neanderthal Beasleys. Wouldn't know a radio if you sent them a carton full of them. Let's send them a carton full of cigarettes. Maybe they'll smoke them. Do you know, when I go into the convenience store here, there are people come in, of course they're buying their faggots in there, and it's like $10 a pack of cigarettes now. And they don't even blink.
No.
And most of these people that are going in there, by the way, and buying their faggots, they're like, not the most, you'd think in other words, how do I put it, like $10 should be a lot to them.
Right. It probably
you know what I mean
is.
by that?
It probably is, but...
in other words, these don't appear to be people with an enormous amount of discretionary income, and yet it's that being hooked again, like me on the sugar.
When you're an addict...
When you're addicted to that's right. Are you starting with the drug talk again now? You're going to start talking about people who snort heroin and things like that?
No, people who snort sugar.
Oh, now that's something I never thought about. I didn't know you could snort heroin. I never heard of that before. I thought you had to do the needle thing like Jim there.
Right, it was a new thing to me too when I first heard about it, although that was years ago.
All you drug people, man, you just make us, I don't know.
With
my being hooked on sugar and being diabetic and my blood sugar being just way, way high. I mean, just ridiculously
high. The drug that you're hooked on has cost me 3 people in my life. None of the other ones ever have, including alcohol or crack or cocaine.
People being snorting heroin and stuff
I wasn't. You were.
Oh. I get nervous being around people like that. And again, I don't know.
With good reason.
Oh. Really? A $70 million lawsuit filed by Dan Rather alleges that CBS and its former parent company intentionally botched the aftermath of a discredited story about President Bush's military service to curry favor with the administration. You go, Dan. Sue their ugly ass. CBS my ass. CBS spokesman Dana McClintock called Rather's complaints old news and said the lawsuit filed Wednesday in State Supreme Court in Manhattan was without merit. Former CBS parent company Viacom Inc. had no comment. Their mum. The lawsuit claims Rather was made a scapegoat to placate the Bush administration after questions arose about the story, which concerned President Bush's military service, such as it was during the Vietnam War. The 75-year-old Rather, whose final months at CBS were clouded by controversy over the story, said the defendant's actions damaged his reputation and cost him significantly. He was removed from CBS Evening News post in March 2005. I think the word we're looking for was unceremoniously dumped. Besides CBS Corp and Viacom, the lawsuit names CBS President and CEO Leslie Moonves good. Sue his ugly ass. By the way, that little red light's on.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
I just shut it off. Right. It's disconnected, the dump thing. It's broken, but they're never going to fix it, and we don't need to, because just so you know that you're in charge of that, and that if anything gets on the air that shouldn't get on the air, it's going to be your
I'm
ugly
just
ass.
pretty much hitting it continuously.
Yeah, just keep hitting it. Or hook it up again, and it'll just keep dumping. Dump, like that. Viacom Chairman Sumner Redstone and Andrew Hayward also got sued, and the former president of CBS News, Andy Hayward. The suit seeks $20 million in compensatory damages and $50 million in punitive damages. You go get him, Danny boy. Stick it to him. Rather narrated the September 2004 report that said Bush disobeyed orders and shirked some of his duties during his National Guard service, which is well documented, by the way, and that a commander felt pressure to sugarcoat Bush's record. In his lawsuit, Rather maintains the story was true, but says if any aspect of the broadcast was not accurate, he was not responsible for the errors. By forcing Rather to apologize publicly, CBS intentionally caused the public and the media to attribute CBS's alleged bungling of the episode to Mr. Rather, the lawsuit claims. The story relied on 4 documents, supposedly written by Bush's commander in Texas Air National Guard, the late Lieutenant Colonel Jerry Killian. Critics questioned the documents' authenticity and suggested they were forged. CBS fired the story's producer, asked for the resignations of 3 executives because it couldn't authenticate documents used in the story. Rather was forced out of the anchor chair he had occupied for 24 years, and then, in an act of sheer lunacy, in an act of self-suicide, I don't know how else you do suicide, but self-suicide, the lunatics brought in Katie Couric. Even desperados, even people in her family wouldn't watch that bitch.
Remember, there's assisted suicide.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Where's Dr. Jack when we need him? I could use his services right now.
No.
I'm getting ready.
No, you could use Luca Brazzi's services, not Dr. Jack.
An investigating panel for the story selected by the network never concluded that the Killian documents were forgeries or that the substance of the documents was inaccurate, and it did not question the underlying critical fact that President Bush had received preferential treatment related to the National Guard, lawsuit says. Richard Thornburg, the former U.S. Attorney General, made up the 2-man investigative panel with Louis Bacardi, the retired chief executive of the AP, said he was unaware of Rather's lawsuit. Reached at his home in Washington, he said only, "Our report speaks for itself." Bacardi didn't return messages left by the A&P. Loblaws, though, he sent a message to. He said, "Chabdir and Dreard." Issued in January 2005, the 224-page report portrayed Rather as pushed to the limit with other stories at the time of the 60 Minutes Wednesday report. He relied on a trusted producer, did not check the story for accuracy, or apparently even see it before he introduced it on the program, the panel said. CBS rushed the story on the air and then blindly defended it when holes became apparent, said the panel, which was unable to say conclusively whether memos allegedly disparaging Bush's service were real or fake. Are they real or are they Memorex? The fired CBS News producer, Mary Mapes. I wonder if she's kin to Ralph Mapes, and Joe Mapes, and Mark Mapes, the Mapeses of Michigan. Later wrote that the panel's examination of the story read more like a prosecutorial brief than an independent investigation. Her book surrounding the controversy was published in 2005. Rather moved on to a weekly news show on cable's HDNet channel, Dan Rather Reports, but the effort has garnered little attention. When the show launched, it was available only in 4 million homes, a small fraction of his potential audience, while at CBS. We don't know where to see it, we don't know where to find it, and, when you come right down to it.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
This is Dan Rather for one of the Final Times, reporting for CBS News. You may have heard that I will be leaving the network for which I served as news anchor for 24 years. CBS has basically told me there is no future for me there. Well, wipe the dog poo off my shoe and call me Red Butt. No future for me. No future for me. This from a network that hired a party girl to be their news anchor. I say baloney to you, sirs. Baloney. This Katie person drinks cheap champagne out of her stilettos while tabletop dancing and belting out karaoke, which I'm told is a Japanese-influenced singing style. No future for me. I have been the face of that dump for more than 3 decades. Long before Survivor, CSI, or the Monday Night Comedy Block, which actually blows, I was the king. Yet they have the audacity, the unmitigated gall, to tell me there is no future with them, no future for me. You make up a couple of stories about the president, suddenly you're persona non grata. How about that long-haired freak we had in the radio division for all those years? They rewarded him by sending him to a company where the Cowsills have their own radio show. If you ask me, that's not too much vision for a company with an eyeball for a logo. Who could even believe that I, the great Dan Rather, would become about as useless as boobs on a bull? I guess the only way to ensure your future with this network is to cover oneself with body glitter and sleep with Les Moonves. For the record, I tried. Les was less than receptive. I have been forced to consider offers that, quite frankly, are beneath me. For example, a hosting job on the show So You Think You Can Dance, and a new reality show called Milking Cows with Celebrities. This reporter has rubbed shoulders with the greatest newsmakers of our time: Gorbachev, Brezhnev, Heidi Fleiss. And now I'm going on casting calls with Screech from Saved by the Bell, whose own home is in foreclosure mode. Well, fire my skillet and wrap me in bacon. I won't take it laying down, unless, of course, Les Moonves reconsiders. Humiliated, yes. Embarrassed, certainly, but not dead. Not just yet. For now, this is Dan Rather signing off. I have a meeting with the people at Cialis to become the new face of erectile dysfunction. This reporter is in as much shock as Willie Nelson reading his tax bill. But I say this here and now. I will not go quietly into that good night. I will maintain what's left of my dignity, even if I am forced to endorse adult diapers. Dan Rather reporting for, well, no one.
In need. And instead of encouraging people to...
There he is. There's your president, one of the worst sons of bitches who ever was on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Not as president, but just anybody that was on the street. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Not just 1600, but the entire street. One of the worst, the biggest butchers, murderers, liars, just incredible. Manglers.
Yeah, but let me ask you something.
Do you like
Do you think that O.J. thinks that he's above the law?
Best burger in town. Here's 2 of them on this one fax. Duffy's Tavern, Red Road, north of Crowell Way. Never heard of it. And Flanagan.
Good place.
What? Which one? Duffy's?
Duffy's.
Okay, Duffy's Tavern. Get it on there then, Chris. You're the one doing all the talking. And Flanagan's, which, of course, is primarily but a lot of times a place is really the best burgers,
Sure.
you know?
Not just because they have a bar there.
No, that
doesn't
a lot
mean
of times a joint. The best burgers are in a joint.
That's right.
That's what my late Uncle Marvin Rosen told me as he was on his, not his deathbed, but close to it. Last time I saw him, the best burgers are in a joint. And then he was telling me how much he loved those little hot fudge sundaes at McDonald's. This is a guy that was worth like 50, 60 million, maybe more. But he loved those little hot fudge sundaes at McDonald's. And the best burgers are in a joint. Maybe that's why George is always in a joint, or with one.
Right.
We got 1,028 votes on the poll. I think Chris would be screaming and carrying on like a lunatic right now. Why not? Yeah.
I got to conserve energy. It's a long day today.
Oh, yeah. Well, when you're fat like you are, you don't want to say. You might burn a couple of calories off. And not only that, with all this food talk on here. Now, let's see. Whataburger finally got one, and it must be from whoever sent me that hostile, caustic fax. Where's the love for Whataburger, sir? To sir with love. Anyway, we got 1,032 votes, and Fuddruckers continues just kicking ass. 235. Char Hut 165. That's where the battle is, those two. Back and forth, up and down, in and out. Oh, In and Out's got 78. Wendy's is third, Steak and Shake fourth, and then In and Out. And then White Castle and Arnold's Royal Castle, close by each, and after that it's a big drop down, way down. So I would say basically there are like 3, 5, 6, 7. 7 joints, and George will smoke them all. So what do you think? Should I start doing drugs or what? Not good for your heart when you're diabetic and old and have high blood pressure. What?
No, it's not. No.
What drugs should I start doing?
I highly recommend marijuana if you are going to choose one.
I don't even consider that a drug. It's a plant.
Well then.
It's a plant.
Exactly.
Poppy. Oh, that's something else. No, seriously, marijuana's not a drug.
I'm certainly not going to recommend something harmful or addictive to you.
Why not?
Because I love you.
But you're in the will. But then, so were a lot of other people.
You know, you're worth more to me alive than dead, no matter how much money you stick in there. How's that?
Really?
Yes, yes.
What does that mean?
That means I would rather have you alive.
Well, wait till tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. You may change your mind about that. I have great trepidation because we're losing a really good month in there. May is dropping off in
Yeah, I know.
June, which was a nightmare.
Brutal.
Wow,
Nasty.
a 2-4.
Sorry.
Woo!
My bad.
No, not your bad. Joe Bell's bad. Don't take the rap for any crap we get.
I won't take the rap for the crap.
Back in the day, before he came and put his ugly stamp on this place, we used to consistently just kick big, fat, smelly, nasty, pimply ass.
Sure.
And now, since he's come along, the whole station has gone in the tank, in the toilet, like Mo would say. What is wrong with you, Jolly Joe? And this is a guy you can't talk to. You can't tell him anything. Oh, I don't know what to tell you. And then they fire Miguel, and then the guy that replaced him, that they stabbed him in the back with, Miguel goes across the street, who's a good guy, and who can also run a board. And by the way, what's the story, Josh, Chris? Are you running a board for 20 hours today, or what?
Yes.
And
Well, I think I'm going to be off for the...
That's because Miguel's not there anymore, and his dipspit that they hired to... he's already gone, because he wanted more money. Nice move again, Jolly Joe. You just keep making mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. It's just unbelievable. People who visit developing countries may soon be able to avoid a dreaded companion, traveler's diarrhea.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my God.
With the aid of a vaccine that's being tested in a study led by a Houston doctor. I thought this story would be very appropriate for today. I'll tell you who gives me diarrhea.
To this end...
Oh, my God. Just looking at him, I just want to go in there and do a wicked dump. But this is good. Fits right in. In fact, that would be a good poll to take one day. Which fast food joint gives you the wildest... wild, screaming diarrhea? The vaccine delivered through a skin patch rather than a needle is expected to enter Phase 3 of its clinical trial next year. If it wins approval from the FDA, it will be the first medication to prevent travelers' diarrhea.
Absolutely correct, sir.
Remember that? You probably don't remember the first spots. Was it for Pepto-Bismol? You know the spots I do love for Pepto-Bismol are the ones where they go... They got the singing people.
Monsters? Nausea,
No.
heartburn, indigestion.
Heartburn, indigestion, diarrhea, and the guy's putting his hand over his eyes.
It's good too. We all sing along in my house.
Heartburn,
Nausea,
indigestion,
indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Diarrhea.
Yeah, it rocks. We dig that. We get up and dance.
The skin patch is a focus of a study led by Dr. Herbert DuPont. I wonder if he's kin to Donald DuPont, who couldn't drive his finger up his nose. A professor at the University of Texas School of Public Health, DuPont, director of the school's Center for Infectious Diseases, presented the results of the vaccine's Phase 2 clinical trial at a conference in Chicago Tuesday. Travelers who received the vaccine before trips to Mexico or Guatemala were significantly less likely to fall ill with travelers' diarrhea than those who received placebos, he reported. We may be near a turning point in the prevention of this common, often serious disease, DuPont said. The unique aspects of putting a patch on the skin that protects you against the common disease is very exciting. Wow, a patch on the skin that protects you against traveler's diarrhea, and maybe against dumping your pants like I did in Amsterdam a few months ago. That was bad.
Mm-hmm.
That was not good. He said and then when I couldn't find the damn key to the room there, the hotel room, boy, I was standing there fumbling around like, oh, jeez, where is it? I know it's here somewhere. All right.
Oh, no, I got to see it through now. I feel better now.
No good. He said he hopes to finish Phase 3, the final level of testing, in 2009. Traveler's diarrhea is the most common illness affecting people who visit developing nations, according to the... Well, you know, what does that term mean, developing nations? I mean, it just mentioned Mexico and Guatemala. Haven't those countries been around a long time? What does that mean?
They're still developing.
No, developing what?
Into something.
Between 20 and 50% of international travelers, or about 10 million people, develop traveler's diarrhea each year, the agency says. Don't be eating the onion soup at that restaurant in Amsterdam on the Damrak. DeMarquis. DeMarquis is a little deMurky these days. They got good pizza, though. The illness usually is caused by food or drink that's been contaminated by feces. Oh, no. By Jim DeFeces. Geez, I never knew that before. Did you know that?
No.
Wow. The skin patch vaccine developed by Iome Corporation is designed to prevent diarrhea caused by enterotoxigenic E. coli bacteria, the most common cause of travelers' diarrhea. It immunizes the recipient against the toxins produced by the bacteria, similar to the tetanus vaccine. I just can't even speak after reading that one line. The illness is usually caused by food or drink that's been contaminated by feces. Oh! Symptoms include loose or watery stool, nausea, vomiting, abdominal cramping, and fever. Don't fall off that watery stool. It's rarely life-threatening, but can cause serious discomfort and inconvenience. Most cases resolve within several days without treatment. At risk are those people who visit developing countries in Latin America, Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. They're developing, but they're developing very slowly. Young adults and people with compromised immune systems, including those with diabetes, are at high risk. See there, I just learned something right there. Phase 2 of the trial involved 170 travelers to Mexico and Guatemala who received 2 doses of either the vaccine or a placebo before their trips. Of the 59 people who received the vaccine, 5% suffered from moderate or severe diarrhea, compared with 21% of the 111 people who received a placebo. No vaccine-related serious adverse effects were reported. Although when we see him...
In other words, there needs to be the passage of law.
No, boy, we all get wild screaming. Heebie-jeebies.
Biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
It was the dumbest heist in Las Vegas history. Hundreds of dollars worth of meaningless porthole memorabilia was for the taking, in a plan that came together for OJ's 11.
I don't know why you just don't ask for the stuff back.
Because it belongs to me.
Not anymore.
Shh! Don't pick the feather.
What's that?
Now let's get your hand done. I ought to kill you too.
Please, OJ.
Get this bracelet off me. You're wasting your time, officer. I'll just play the race card again and go free.
He's got a point, Joe.
That memorabilia belongs to me. It was given to me by my adoring fans.
Yeah, you'll have plenty of fans where you're going, mister.
Where that?
Back to Florida.
Oh, that's it?
I guess. Surprised me, too.
I was reading about Jim DeFeces here. When the Herald fired his ass, there's a big article. It's amazing the stuff you find online. I know that's, obvious to most people with a brain, but it just is amazing. I never cease to be amazed. Maybe that's a better way to put it, okay? Do you cease to be amazed?
I'm amazed all the time. I try not to be.
Maybe I'm amazed. But,
maybe play that.
An open letter to Herald.
Herald who?
Publisher from a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of newspaper people, mostly Herald alumni. There's like 80 zillion people. A letter to publisher Jesus Diaz and editor Tom Fiedler. You know Tom with the yellow raincoat that was busy chasing around Gary Hart and Donna Ain't So Nice Rice? Remember those days? I sure do. Little twerpy Tom Fiedler from the Miami Herald. Hey, Tom. Had him on my show one time with Carl Hyacin. Boy, was that a bad show. Was it?
Yes.
It sucked. Anyway, I'll tell you, Chris ought to be pretty happy, although...
running a country who's...
Yeah, running a country. He's busy. He's running a country. It's hard work. Running a country. We are really kicking ass on this burger poll. Thanks, Brandon. I'm going to let Brandon do the poll every day now. Of course, now he's going to have to come up with one for tomorrow. He sent me and there also used to be Burger Queen. Let's put that on there, too.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Burger Queen?
Yeah.
It was very similar to Burger Chef in that they had the fixins bar and you put your own toppings on it and stuff like that. And they had the, onion slices and all the good stuff. I like those things. Yeah. Although it does help if the meat is edible, like Harvey's.
Yeah, that's a good place to start.
Yeah, that's a good place to start. If the meat, $1,099, we're going to have 1,100 votes at 11:05. I bet you we wound up with 65,000 votes on the poll today, which maybe that's a sign somebody's coming back, and maybe we're going to be amazed, or not. I think we're going to be amazed tomorrow morning around 10:15. Oh. When the evidence is in, boy, I think it's going to be grim. I don't usually predict on those things, because how the hell do you know, You know? I don't predict, but my prediction is it's going to be grim and slim and really... I wouldn't be surprised if this station's got some hours where the number starts with like they used to do across the street. And by the way, Joel Feinberg, screw you. Now, you threatened me that there was going to be some article from Jolly Joe that he sent along in my
I gave the magazine to Boker Bryan, and you'll get it next week, I imagine.
I'll get it next week. Oh, I see. I thought it was going to be in the package yesterday.
Well, no rush, I'm sure.
Bitterly disappointed. I couldn't wait to read about what a jackass Joel Feinberg is, although I don't need to read about it because I already know it from personal experience. A real jerk, a real goofball, another non-radio person. Well, he told us when he called in he doesn't know anything about radio and he doesn't know anything about sports. All he knows is his daddy's got a lot of money and he knows how to spend it. That's all he knows. And that he's full of crap. And that Jolly Joe Bell's an easy target, man. 11:01 on the poll. We went over 1,100 votes now on the burger poll. See, and you were knocking us the other day. You said, oh, geez, we've done it so many times. Yeah. Or was I saying that?
I think both of us were saying
Well, it's good. It's all good.
It's all good. That's a good point.
That's what Bubba says. It's all good. Just another Bubba Micey. And Fuddruckers just is way out ahead of the pack. So I guess, according to Brandon, they shut that one down because they had some health violations, and the health department shut that one down. Wow, I wonder what that was all about. I mean, that was there a long time. Because I've lived in Plantation for, I don't know, I'd say about 600 years, and I remember when that thing went up there, and now it's gone. See, that's the way it is in life. The good places, they come in and they go, and you say, oh, gee, whatever happened to, whatever.
Right.
Although nowadays you can't say whatever because now that has a different connotation. Whatever. Huh?
Well.
No, whatever.
Well.
The best burgers come from Fuddruckers 239, Charhut 171. I think Charhut could still pass them. I like Charhut a lot, but I don't think I've ever had burgers there because when I go there, I always want the sausage or weenies or something like that.
What I heard, yes.
Especially the Italian sausage. That's my favorite.
I heard that too.
But at any rate, Charhut 171. So I never had the charred cheese, and of course I was
They're great.
When I was there. Are they really?
Yes.
I always remember different people on our station just raving about them, and that's probably because they were getting them for free.
Somebody had already voted on the poll when I got here this morning, but I would have voted for Charhut if I could have.
Somebody already voted on our poll this morning?
How do you like that here in the building?
Who would that have been?
I don't know.
Not Joe.
Or maybe yesterday afternoon after you changed it. Who knows?
Oh, you mean somebody there in the building so you couldn't vote?
Right.
Because that's the way this stupid thing works. For anybody who wonders why we get relatively so few... Now, how come... Well, that's like you go on CNN polls and they've got like 53,000 votes or like 200 MSNBC, 243,000 votes, stuff like that. Of course, when we get like 1,500 votes, that's a real feather in our cap because it means it's possible 1,500 people might actually be listening. Might. You understand? We'll find out tomorrow. Thanks a lot, by the way, Jolly Joe, for making my final months in South Florida in this whole 31 and a half years I've been on. Thanks for making it a living nightmare, okay, Jolly Joe? What you have done, and I'll say it again, and I really mean this isn't shtick. There are people on death row for lesser crimes than what you've done to this once proud radio station. You are a butcher, a lunatic, a maniac.
I thought it was time to come together a couple of years ago.
Yeah, well, yeah. Did I read Charhut 171, Wendy's 99, so the others after those top two aren't in the running. Although something might be running down your leg, but Wendy's 99, Steak and Shake 89, they got the best shakes. That'll be tomorrow's poll, who's got the best shakes? Janet Reno wins, I think.
No, I'm voting for Michael J. Fox.
Oh, I knew you'd do that. There was no doubt in my mind. Bad taste. Got the best shakes. That is so insensitive and cruel, but accurate. Wendy's 99, Steak and Shake 89, In-N-Out 80, old In-N-Out. I've seen that. In fact, you know where it is in Vegas? Well, there's probably more than one, but there's one like right on the highway there.
An In-N-Out burger?
Yeah. And because everybody was always calling into the show saying, well, you got to try that, they're great. I've often thought about trying that, but since I'm never going to go back to Vegas, I guess I'm never going to get to try it. Either of you ever try it? No.
Nope.
Arnold's Royal Castle 79, White Castle 79, Rudy's, which went on late, is all the way up to 40. Wow, what a feather in their cap. Of course, they're closed.
What a good memory in their cap, too.
No, that's how good it was. Rudy's was, like you said, there were steak burgers.
Too good to last, and they were.
It's up to 41 votes now. Rudy's was great. And many a day when I'd leave IOD there at 2 o'clock, of course, it was one of those days when we didn't have any food come in, which is pretty unusual, but many a day, if there wasn't no food, I would drive up there on Biscayne Boulevard and whip right into Rudy's, baby, go into the drive-thru and eat that baby on the way home. Of course, now you can't eat the bun when you got diabetes. At least you shouldn't, See, that's the thing, the bread. Like last night, I went to a restaurant, I had a meal, all by my lonesome. I sat there, and I had bread. I ate the bread. I didn't order the bread, but, and I had lasagna, neither one of which I should be eating. Aren't you disgusted and gross?
Yeah, I am. I'm keeping my mouth shut.
What do you mean by that? I shouldn't be eating the lasagna, and I certainly shouldn't be eating the bread. I'm not even that crazy about bread. Like in Fatso, where he says, you love bread, I like bread.
I love bread.
I like it okay, especially if it's fresh and warm, Like in Ruth Chris, they bring out that hot loaf,
Oh, yeah.
Nothing like a hot loaf. And then in some places they got that garlic butter. Not just regular butter, but like garlic butter. Man. In fact, I had a double chicken breast. Saturday night at Ruth Chris, I had a double chicken breast stuffed with garlic butter.
That sounds great.
Oh, man, that was so good. And, of course, I'm sure it's like fettuccine Alfredo, like heart attack on a plate. But nevertheless, it was damn good. Something to be said for a good meal. And the Ruth's Chris here, by the way, is much better. Well, I shouldn't say that. Than some other ones. Was that a delicate way of putting it?
Yeah.
The one here is really sensational. It's in the Hilton Hotel, by the way, when you come and visit Toronto, which you won't because your dollar isn't worth like $1.50 like it used to be, or $1.30. In fact, I should go over to that channel right now, and then I'll kill myself after I see that it's finally achieved. I mean, this happened like all of a sudden. Once that interest rate cut went in, 99.87 the Canadian dollar, the loonie. The loonie, baby, is 99.86 now. Thank God it moved back down just a touch, just a hair, a scooch. Oh, brother. Thanks so much.
It's in value.
You bozo, you butcher.
Biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Hey, kids! This year's hottest toy is here! Prepare to be bamboozled by the battling bozos of Rock'em Sock'em Rock Tard! Hey, man, I'm Kid Rock.
And I'm Tommy Lee. Pam Anderson belongs to me, man.
Pam's mine,
Dude, you knocked my block off.
Rock'em Sock'em Rock Tards. Available now at a crappy music award show near you.
Look at that. Rudy's has got 43 votes. See, I keep talking about the ones at the top of this pool. Fatburger's got 8.
Who?
Fatburger.
Okay.
Burger Chef has got 6. Flanagan's 4. Jack's 4. Whataburger 4. Vic and Herb's 4. Five Guys 3. I never heard of it.
Me either.
Hot and Now 3. Well, the fact Hot and Now's got 3 votes is it's enough to make you cry.
Speaking of Hot and Now, Lefties is here now.
Well, good.
I can't wait.
I bet it's hot.
All this food talk,
Duffy's Tavern 2 and Burger Queen just went on. They don't have any. 1,128 votes. I bet you Chris is like dancing in the streets, not because we got a lot of votes, but because the free food just showed up.
Yeah, something like that.
43 minutes to go until we get to noon, and then we go through that very exciting exercise and see how fast. Now, how many have we got today? We got 50?
100, I believe.
We got 150, and that's right, because these are 50s. When we have $50 certificates for $25, then we have 100. So that'll take probably more than like 10, 20 seconds to sell those. Yale Galander was angry yesterday as he strode from a Las Vegas courtroom to the gaggle of reporters waiting outside. The longtime Miami defense lawyer had just succeeded in getting his star client, O.J. Simpson, released from jail, pending arraignment on robbery and kidnapping charges. Just after midnight, a U.S. air flight touched down in Fort Lauderdale with Simpson aboard en route to his home in Kendall. Oh, boy.
Oh, my God.
Amen. Simpson offered no comment and left the airport in a Ford Excursion. You thought I was going to say in a Ford Bronco.
Yeah.
Didn't say it.
Actually.
But Galander, 51, wasn't pleased. I'm livid, actually, he said earlier Wednesday as he stomped through the courthouse. The reason several TV stations had aired interviews with a local lawyer claimed he was representing Simpson free of charge. Galander put an end to that when he defiantly announced in court yesterday that he and a Vegas lawyer he handpicked to assist him would be the only attorneys for the defense. I know it seemed like a Joe Pesci movie in there, Galander said afterward, but I was really angry. I needed to make clear that we're the only two lawyers representing Mr. Simpson. Galander may have been understandably upset that someone else was trying to lay claim to his client. Since 2000, Galander has been Simpson's primary lawyer and spokesman. Galander was so intent on being in Las Vegas for Simpson's bail hearing yesterday, he asked a Broward County judge to postpone a rape trial he's working on there. The accuser in the rape case, who lives in Kentucky, had already traveled to South Florida for the court case, only to learn it was off because the attorney for her alleged attacker had to attend to O.J. I'm not going to allow the O.J. Simpson matter to make this case into a circus, Judge Lee Ray Soderman told Galander on Tuesday, according to a transcript. But the judge agreed to push back the case after Galander offered to pay for airfare and lodging for the accuser, who is 15. Galander tried yesterday to downplay the hype surrounding Simpson's latest arrest on kidnapping and burglary charges. Other than being Mr. Simpson, there's nothing unusual about this case, Galander said. My office handles tons of these cases every month. Tons of these cases where people go in with a weapon, with a bunch of thugs, and steal a bunch of crap that they claim belongs to them. Wow. Whether that's true, it's certain Galander's representation of Simpson has brought him more publicity than any client of his, says this from the Herald. Oh, and by the way, we got to do something about that Michael Mayo story because the Sun Sentinel website is screwed up. So if there's anybody out there who can actually get the story to show up in full online, we'd appreciate it if you'd fax it to us, so then George can fax it to me. Because it's about, it's about, ow, 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 about that kid from FU.
Back at you.
Yeah. Don't tase me, bro. It's about him. Well, I guess they were just tasing us. They're on the Sun Sentinel website. The headline is there, and then you do everything under the sun to try to get the story to come up, and it won't show you the story, Mike Mayo. What a crappy website the Sun Sentinel's got. Almost as bad as the Herald. It blows. A former Dade State Attorney's Office prosecutor, Galander, was mentioned in news articles occasionally in the 80s and early 90s. After he began private practice as a criminal defense lawyer, Galander attended the University of Miami and received his law degree from Nova Southeastern. He defended headline-grabbing clients like accused cop killers and drug smugglers, among others, but there was little mention of Galander in the press till December of 2000 when he landed a new client, O.J. Galander first represented Simpson in a 2000... Are you trying that Sun Sentinel thing again, or is it not going to just print out? I mean,
I'm still on it. I mean, I'm refreshing it. It's very refreshing, but nothing's happening.
Just keep showing you the headline, and Mike Mayo's got this article about which he knew the kid, and the kid wrote some crap for the Sun Sentinel, and yada yada yada, and he was bright, and he was this, and because from his blog yesterday, I read that he was going to be writing about it today. So I went right to it, and I thought, gee, I wonder what Mike Mayo wrote about it, and there's the headline, but it's just a big tease. Galander's first represented Simpson in the 2001 road rage incident and a libel suit against a tabloid that reported his client had been in a pornographic movie. Simpson's civil defense team referred him to Galander after Simpson moved from L.A. to Kendall. I am humbled that O.J. put his trust in me, Galander said in a 2001 New Yorker profile of Simpson. My parents are walking on a cloud nine because O.J. picked me to be his spokesman. Oh, my God. Wow. Since then, Galander's name and quotes have been printed across the country every time Simpson's had a run-in with the law. There was the 2001 federal raid of Simpson's Kendall home, and agents confiscated drugs and unlawful satellite TV equipment. You hear that, the sirens out there? Can you hear that?
Yes, they're coming for you.
Wow. When you live in a big city, man, there's always sirens all the time, just nonstop. Police and fire and paramedics and... In 2002, Simpson was ticketed for speeding his powerboat through a manatee zone. He paid a $130 fine. I'd forgotten about that one. In 2003, a domestic violence call at Simpson's home turned out to be false, but Galander did damage control after Simpson, using colorful language, vented to reporters. He vented. After a Kentucky restaurateur kicked Simpson out of his steakhouse in May, Galander again stood up for his client. He screwed with the wrong guy. He really did, Galander said. Just like Ron and Nicole, they screwed with the wrong guy, too. I guess Nicole screwed the wrong guy. Galander has parlayed the attention he's gotten from handling Simpson's legal affairs into a steady gig of TV commentary. He's appeared as a legal analyst on dozens of cable news shows discussing cases of Kobe Bryant, Scott Peterson, Robert Blake, and others. With his made-for-TV jawline and easy smile, Galander said he's happiest in public arenas, on TV and in the courtroom. Galander told reporters yesterday not to call Simpson for comment. All interviews will go through me, he said. Just like a taser gun, all the interviews will go through, yelled Galander. Just something, I don't know. But then again, that's lawyers for, you know. Grave robbers. Maybe that's what the sirens, ambulance chases, maybe that's what that signified. Maybe it was an act of God.
Oh, God!
That as I was reading that story, that thing was blowing off. 1,137 votes on the poll. Fuddruckers 242, Charhut 179, and Wendy's has gone into triple digits with exactly 100. Ciento. I forgot I'm in the wrong country. How do you say it, I wonder, in lesbianese?
Chris?
Chris knows something about them lesbians. Sure of that.
Yeah.
So that's what we got is Fuddruckers. And poor people in Plantation, they were deprived of their Fuddruckers when they shut that one down on University and Sunrise. It's bad. Now, isn't there like an Arby's right next to that, right?
I don't know.
I remember one time I said something derogatory about Arby's, and we got like all people. The people that worked there, I guess, got all bent out of shape. Remember that? I like that.
I like Arby's.
Now, what's that cereal place? We ought to put the phone back on again so we can get that guy to call him the cereal.
Yeah,
what is it called? Serial killer?
I don't know. Yeah, the serial killer.
Cereal, right? That's all they serve is cereal. And that guy was honest like. And then there was always Shea Porkies too. Remember those goofballs?
Sure.
We've gone through these various periods in the 800
years
we've been doing this show.
Yeah, people think it's so clever to crank call as a promotional
crank calling us and then mentioning the restaurant they work at, which always endears them to us, and we rip them in the ass, say, oh, you don't want to go there, it's blah, like that. Especially that cereal place. Seriously, you can't think of the name of it? I mean, the guy only called like 600 times in 2 days.
Not only am I not able to think of the name
You
of it,
don't
I don't want to think of
Is that
the
what
name
you're
of
trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
The Serial Connection? I think that was it.
No, very good.
What a mind I got, huh? Serial Connection. Yeah, you want the cream of wheat or the Wheaties today? Or the Rice Krispies? Just give me the Frosted Flakes. Give me the box. Give me the big family-sized box. I'll eat them right out of the box. Frosted Flakes. Talk about a sugar addiction. Wow. Between the fact that it's all carbs and all pure sugar, it's just I could eat the whole family-sized box Frosted Flakes. Trying to frost my ass. 1140 on there on the survey. Wow, on a poll. Best burger joint today, yesterday, in the future. How about ones that haven't been opened yet? Would be good.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
And hold it.
It's Brittany, and I'm hungry.
I'll tell you, a lot of people really thought she had a substance abuse problem, and that's why I don't believe she did. I just think she's nutty.
I just want to turn the lights down and keep your saggy body out of view. Your show had no direction. Clothes so skimpy that we almost saw your womb. You're looking round and your voice, there's no sound. People were mocking, eyes they were blocking. Muffin top flashing, you were barely dancing, bad lip syncing. What were you thinking? Like the crowd was saying, Britney, Britney, no more. Britney, no more. Britney, 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 no more. Britney, no more. Britney, Britney, no more. Britney, Britney, no more. Britney, 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 no more.
No mas. It's 11:30 at 560 WQAM. Happy Thursday to you. In just a half an hour, we're going to be doing our 2-for-1 meal deal things. And thanks to Sean, the Felix the Cat guy on the MySpace for emailing me Michael Mayo's column. And I'm sure they're pouring it across the fax machine. Not. Did you get any?
No.
No.
Got a lot of food over here. Got some wings.
Well, good.
Got
Eat the food and don't
Mona
worry about
Lisa
the fax
sandwich.
machine because I already got the stir. I'll read the stir while you eat. You got what
some
sandwich?
Sashimi. It's a Mona Lisa. It's like a fried chicken with mozzarella and like a red pepper and what else is on there? A whole bunch of things.
Wow.
Arugula.
Wow.
Balsamic what? Vinaigrette. It's good stuff.
And I'm sitting here with... Maybe I'll have to make some more bacon and make noise on... Make a lot of noise on the air while you're eating, by the way. Like that. To get whatever that guy yesterday, whatever his name was. Willard.
Yeah.
Willard the Rat. Anyway, Michael Mayo says, I have to admit I admired the spark in Meyer's writing in 2004, but his shtick at the John Kerry talk in Gainesville on Monday, which has vaulted him to instant celebrity status, seemed more shock jock than H.L. Mencken. In a rambling and sometimes crude discourse, he asked U.S. Senator Kerry why he didn't contest the 2004 election results more strongly, why he isn't pushing for the impeachment of President Bush, and whether he belongs to the secretive Skull and Bones Club at Yale. Still, the shock cop response to Meyer's confrontational, obnoxious...
What word did you say?
...and perhaps contrived brand of student activism was 100 times more offensive. I mean, really, tasering a student after he hogged a microphone, shocking a guy into submission when he wielded only a Greg Palast book. My God, the man who had already endured 2 hours of John Kerry. Wasn't that punishment enough?
Oh, my God.
Still, by all means, Mike Mayo says, the campus police should have given Meyer the bum's rush and perhaps even arrested him for not complying with their orders. But all they did with their stunning public spectacle was give Meyer, 21, the attention he seemed to be craving. The 12-page police report detailing Meyer's arrest and charges of resisting officers with violence, a felony, and disturbing the peace, a misdemeanor, noted that he handed a camcorder to a woman before he approached the microphone, allegedly saying, "Are you taping this? Do you have this? You ready?"
I'm ready.
Arresting officer Nicole Mallow, who tasered Meyer, also wrote that on the trip to jail, Meyer was laughing and being lighthearted in the car. His demeanor completely changed once the cameras were not in sight. But I don't know how much I could trust Mallow, considering she wrote that Meyer was inciting a riot. Please. I don't know Meyer's motivation. His website, theandrewmeyer.com, makes me wonder. Theandrewmeyer.com. This is a guy who, beside referring to himself as The Andrew Meyer, also has an email address of Famous Writer Man. In a 2005 column for the Independent Florida Alligator, he wrote about his proclivity for provocation. I absolutely love the thought that some nonsense I wrote irritated people enough for them to let everyone know how much they disliked what I wrote, he said. His high school journalism advisor described him as passionate and eloquent. Oline Cogdill, a South Florida Sun-Sentinel features editor, who supervised him when he contributed to the newspaper from 2002 to 2006, said he was one of the finest students I've ever worked with. He was always polite and reliable. He was always passionate about politics. Maybe he's an impassioned political idealist, a self-promoting narcissist, or a little of both. With the war rampaging and young Americans dying, it's just nice to see that someone on campus has a pulse. The police's over-the-top response can only be seen as a message to those who dare to question authority. University of Florida President Bernard Mackin told reporters on Tuesday he regretted the incident and was embarrassed by it. 2 campus officers have been suspended pending an investigation of the taser use. Don't tase me, bro! Ow! Still, this should be a lesson to Meyer. If he's going to be a provocateur, he needs to learn the basics of civil disobedience, like how to get arrested without resisting. Oh. Where do you read about that? Is there like a manual for that?
It's an automatic for that.
No. Oh, I can't find
He's
it.
an agent provocateur.
There it is. Like how to get arrested without resisting. Otherwise, bro, sometimes you get burned or shocked, bro. That's what Michael Mayo says. Bro. Don't tase me, bro! Well, you got to hand it to him. He did a magnificent job of provoking and being a provocateur, and they reacted like a bunch of idiots, and, everybody feels for him, even though he may have been a jackass, and a goofball.
I find the whole thing funny.
Yeah, most amusing, that's right. Because he was making a mockery of something that should
I'm
be
glad
made a
he
mockery
did it.
of.
I'm glad they tased him. I'm
Nice
glad
going
somebody
there,
tased
Kino.
it. I'm glad for all of it.
Right. I'm glad for halava.
It was good fun.
That's right. Chocolate halava is really good. Not that diet halava. Oh, boy, you talk about making a wild run to the magic room. And you know who that was? That was your accountant. Your from Orthodox Jew accountant that gave me that sugar-free diet halava at the Panther game that time.
Uh-huh.
Oh, brother. You talk about a gigantic explosion. Wow. I'm sorry, Joyce. Like I said, you talk about a gigantic Joyce. 11:56, as in Q56. That's how many votes we got on our poll. We're thinking like a big number today. Like what, about 45 million votes?
Yeah, something like that.
Everybody in America is going to vote on this poll. The best burgers come from, or came from, if it's a place that's no longer with us, a place that's deceased. Fuddruckers 246, Charhut 179. Fuddruckers seems to have a pretty safe lead. Now, are there a lot of Fuddruckers in town, or am I dreaming?
I only knew about the one.
That's the only one I ever seen. You don't know any other ones? Well, why don't you Google it? Fuddruckers, Florida. Can you handle it?
He will.
I don't want to put a lot of pressure on you. I know the food is there.
No, we're busy
Your priorities
over here.
tend to drift in that direction.
We're dealing with important things right now.
Don't be eating with your mouth full.
How else?
Charhut 179. They're like 67 votes behind. Wendy's is in there, like I said, with triple digits 102. And Steak and Shake 94, In-N-Out 84, White Castle 83, and Wayne Arnold 81. After that, it's although Rudy's is making a nice move. To come from 0 to 43 is staggering, shocking. Burger Queen doesn't have any. That's because nobody remembers Burger Queen. Only this old queen remembers Burger Queen. Maybe I made it up. Maybe it was really Burger Chef. The more I think about it, Burger Chef was good. You remember Burger Chef?
Yeah.
That was the one that had the one that immediately comes to mind way before Fuddruckers with the Fixins Bar. That's what they called it. We got the Fixins Bar. Come in, you order your burger, whatever you like, a single, double, a cheeseburger, whatever.
Yeah.
And then just plain is all they give it to you. And you hold the lettuce, hold the pickles, special orders don't upset us, however that goes.
I bet it didn't taste like this Mona Lisa sandwich.
I'm sure it didn't. But then again, they didn't have it. Mona Lisa. It was on the wall. 11:58 on the survey. Boy, if we can get up to 1,200 by noon, I'm taking the rest of the day off. I'm going to go soak my head in Valvoline. We got that hurricane game today, boy. How come you're not talking about the Hurricanes? That's what we ought to be talking about is football.
The hurricane fucking blow.
Maybe that's why we're not talking about it. Maybe they're going to get whomped again like they did by Oklahoma.
So there's only 3 Fuddruckers in Florida.
Yeah.
Miami on 10680 Northwest 19th Street.
Wow.
One in Wellington, 10880 Forest Hill Boulevard, and one in Orlando.
Forest Hill Boulevard. I used to live on Forest Hill Boulevard 100 years ago. And what was the other one? Orlando. Well,
Orlando.
We don't care about them. They're all a bunch of going anywhere up there.
Yeah, there used to be, I want to say, another 3 that I knew about that have all gone out of business in the last 2 or 3 years.
Now, why do you think that is? They went out of business because they were shut down, like the one in Plantation there, or because...
Don't know. Probably because of you.
Yeah, it's probably my fault.
Talk about those buttered buns.
For not promoting them enough. Fuddruckers. I have no problem with them. Just don't butter the bun. When you go there, just say, hey, don't butter unless you want them to butter the bun. It's like when you go to Ruth Chris. You know, they broil the steaks in butter.
Don't butter the bun, bro. Don't butter the bun.
Very high temperature. So tell them, hold the butter when you order the steak at Ruth Chris, if you have a sensitive stomach and you don't want to be making an immediate run to that room. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you. Boy, the poll just came back up very strange on there. 1164, like there was a chunk of votes that just came in. And, of course, some of these places wouldn't surprise me. I think chunks is the appropriate term for it. That's okay. Our crowd likes food, man. We like to manja, especially eating while you're on the air or talking with your mouth full.
What did you say?
That's my favorite.
That's it. Do it again. Get that Willard all bent out of shape. Sorry, Willard.
Let me take a fresh bite over here.
And fat-ass Jolly Joe Bell's got the nerve to, send us that email, send it along.
I'm sure he just thought it was funny.
He thought it was funny?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you thought it was funny, huh?
Well, he doesn't know what funny is, you know.
Oh, yeah, he really knows from funny. He's funny. Just, where do they find him? Where do they dig his fat ass up? I know he was over there at KISS.
Carolina.
He was on the other side of the building. So, oh, come on, hey, Greg Reed got canned. How about if we bring you over here, Joe? We're bringing Joe Bell over to screw the place up. I did a magnificent job, too, by the way. I don't think anybody does it better. Nope. Nobody does it better than Jolly Joe. He could take a wet dream and turn it into a nightmare. He sure turned this place into a nightmare, I'll tell you that, in very little time. Oh, but we got Joe Rose back. Yeah, how's that working out? Anybody out there? How many people know about that?
About 30, man.
How many people know that Joe is back on our station? Morning, 7 to 10 a.m., by the way. Nobody does it better. Carly Simon on that.
Right. You going to talk it up or what?
I don't think so.
Nobody does.
Too tough an assignment.
Biggest name.
What word did you say?
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York.
Good evening. This is Dan Rather reporting. In shocking news today, this reporter has just confirmed that President George W. Bush is a raging pothead, a ganja-smoking, reefer-mad stoner. No, really, we didn't make it up this time. According to recently released tape recordings made several years ago, President Bush is clearly indicating that he may have tried marijuana at some time in the past. This startling revelation may explain his slurred speech, questionable intelligence, and disappearance from National Guard duty during the Vietnam era. No, I just can't let that one go, sorry. Not wanting to say, I told you so, this reporter will take the high road and say only... And that's part of our world. The satisfying, vindictive, I hope you're happy now, you stupid red state bastards part. I'm Dan Rather reporting for CBS News.
Attaboy, Danny, go get him. I'll get my half of that $7 million, by the way. 11:45 at QAM. And there was more to that article. Felix the cat there, Sean, whatever his name is, he did a fine job in sending me most of the article, but he left off the first paragraph, and then, in his email. Because now they fixed it on the Sun Sentinel website. How do you like that? After I talked about it on the air, they fixed it. I think it must be just a coincidence, huh?
They heard you.
What do you think?
No.
Michael Mayo's column, I'll just read the part that I didn't read before. He said, I tried calling Andrew Meyer a few times on Wednesday. At first, the voicemail box on his cell phone was full. Later, when I was able to leave a message, I reminded him that I once awarded him first place in a high school journalism contest for his columns at Cypress Bay High in Weston, and hoped that, given his sudden jolt of fame, he still had time to talk to a little person like me. Finally, with the deadline closing in, I left a desperate plea. Don't diss me, bro. But the University of Florida seniors made Don't Tase Me, bro into the latest instant catchphrase. Didn't call back. And then there's the article that I read. How do you like that? So thanks to you goofballs at the Sun Sentinel website for finally fixing that so the world can read what make... And I read it, and you know something? I got through reading it, and I don't know what the hell he said. Bada-beep, bada-boop, bada-boop, all over the place. Wouldn't you say? It was like all over the road?
Okay.
Kind of like our format here on QAM. Not MOR, middle of the road. Not but like EOR, end of the road.
You know what he said?
What?
Don't tase me, bro.
Don't talk with your mouth full now. We got 14 minutes until we do the thing here. Till we do the Thursday thing. Traffic jammed the two-lane road leading into the tiny town of Gina early Thursday as thousands of demonstrators gathered in support of 6 black teens initially charged with attempted murder and the beating of a white classmate. The Reverend Al Sharpton, one of the worst opportunists in the history of the human race, said it could be the beginning of the 21st century civil rights movement, one that would challenge disparities in the justice system. You can't have justice meted out based on who you are rather than what you did, Sharpton told CBS's The Early Show today, which nobody watches. The six were charged a few months after the local prosecutor declined to charge 3 white high school students who hung nooses in a tree on their high school grounds. 5 of the black teens were initially charged with attempted murder, but that charge was reduced to battery for all but one, who has yet to be arraigned. The 16 was charged as a juvenile. This is the most blatant example of disparity in the justice system we've seen, Sharpton said. You can't have 2 standards of justice. We didn't bring race in it. Those who hung the nooses brought the race into it. District Attorney Reed Walters, breaking the long public silence, denied yesterday that racism was involved. He said he didn't prosecute the students because of hanging the nooses, because he could find no Louisiana law under which they could be charged. I can't overemphasize what a villainous act that was. The people that did it should be ashamed of what they unleashed on this town, Walters said. In the beating case, he said, 4 of the defendants were of adult age under Louisiana law, and the only juvenile charged as an adult, Michael Bell, had a prior criminal record. That's Michael M-Y-C-H-A-L. The case has been portrayed by the news media as being about race, he said, and the fact that it takes place in a small town, a small southern town, lends itself to that portrayal. But it is not, never has been about race. It's about finding justice for an innocent victim and holding people accountable for their actions. Are we supposed to do that, hold black people accountable for their actions too? When did that start? I thought when we had the first O.J. trial, I thought that was like, we said, oh, we don't want to do that no more. The white teen who was beaten, Justin Barker, was knocked unconscious, his face badly swollen and bloodied, though he was able to attend a school function later that night. Bell, 16 at the time of the attack, is the only one of the Gina 6 to be tried so far. He was convicted on an aggravated second-degree battery count that could have sent him to prison for 15 years, but the conviction was overturned last week when a state appeals court said he should not have been tried as an adult. Today's protest had been planned to coincide with Bell's sentencing, but organizers decided to press ahead even after the conviction was thrown out. Bell remains in jail while prosecutors prepare an appeal. He's unable to meet the $90,000 bond, but I'm sure that we can handle it. George and Chris will get it together.
Yeah, I got it right here.
We have all family members about the age of these guys. We said it could have been one of them. We wanted to try to do something, said Angela Merrick, 36 of Atlanta, who drove with 3 friends from Atlanta to protest the treatment of the Gina 6. The rally was heavily promoted on black websites, blogs, radio, and publications, but you do understand it wasn't a racial thing. Students came from schools across the region, including historically black colleges like Morehouse College, Spelman College, Clark Atlanta University, Howard University, Hampton University, and Southern University. Tina Cheatham missed the civil rights marches at Selma, Montgomery, and Little Rock, but she had no intention of missing another brush with history. The 24-year-old Georgia Southern University graduate drove all night to reach Tiny Gina in central Louisiana. It was a good chance to be part of something historic since I wasn't around for the civil rights movement, she said. This is kind of the 21st century version of it. Others supported the effort, but worried that it could erode race relations in Gina even further. I don't think it'll cause any major confrontation, said Odessa Hickman, 72, but there are probably going to be some friendships lost. 3,500 residents, and in Gina, some residents now worry about safety. Hotels were booked as far away as Natchez, Mississippi, to Alexandria, Louisiana. Natchez, Mississippi. Wow, ever been there?
What?
Red Cross officials manned first aid stations at a local courthouse, had water and snacks on hand. Portable toilets and flashing street signs to aid in traffic congestion were in place. Well, they're having a whole big simus, a big to-do. Oh, there's that kid again on CNN. They keep putting that on there right in the middle of your lunch. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I was about to change it back when you said that. I'm glad you said which kid it was.
Kirk says, check a website called tshirthell.com.
That's a good place.
They have shirts like, don't tase me, bro. Barry Bonds takes it in the
rectum
steroids. Anna Nicole shirts, Obama shirts, and it says, sorry, some of my spelling is wrong. No problem, Kirk. Thanks for the memories. Oh, brother, look at that. Andy and Howard. Oh, just died.
Actually,
and also his boyfriend, Greg.
That's right.
The same thing.
Tag team.
Side by each, sitting there hand in hand, hand in hand. That. What a boring show, yeah? Because we don't have Andy on the phone and his boyfriend Greg from Port St. Lucie. Oh, how can I continue? How very, very sad. And they're sitting there, he's talking about us again. Oh! And I'm sure they're busy tickling each other's fancy.
Now their life's complete.
That's correct.
Their fancy what?
Goods.
1184
we got. 1184. We're only 16 away from 1200. But boy, what a boring show. And that's because I'm mailing it in. If we just had those real nifty calls, we could open up that phone.
Hey!
Yeah. to Andy and Greg and Andy and Shamba and that crowd of misfits. Why not just get a nice big extra large T-shirt and drape it over your body and your ass that says, I'm a misfit. In other words,
I have no life.
That's what they ought to be doing. Have like a big billboard with an arrow pointing to them. We have no life, and Neil is our life, even though he hates us like poison and wishes we would croak. Mm-hmm. And every once in a while, Greg tries to get back on the MySpace thing. He tries to get on there, and it's not going to happen. Ain't going to work. And guess who else tried to get on there again, disguised as somebody the other day? Al Rogers again.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
You draw him in, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
You pull him.
I am a maggot magnet. Both on the air and off the air. I am a maggot magnet. Make no mistake about it. I bet you they got a lot of maggots in Mexico, wouldn't you think?
I imagine.
Of all varieties. 11, let's see. Are we going to make 1,200 by the top of the hour? That'd be really something. And then plus we got the restaurant deal with Lefties coming at the top of the hour, and you guys are eating all that great food. What was that sandwich you said again?
It was a Mona Lisa sandwich, which was like a fried chicken fillet breast, breaded with arugula and mozzarella, roasted red peppers.
Red what
kind of
peppers?
Bread? Ciabatta bread. I don't know if we can say that on the air.
Not again.
And,
I'm sure
and
George.
balsamic vinaigrette. It was spectacular,
Sure
and they went like hot. They brought like a giant tray of them, and they lasted like 30 seconds.
Excellent. They're still there?
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot, guys.
They're lingering.
I can't enjoy any of it, but then again, I don't need it. You know.
We're going to go
say in China, "Doch das sehe Lochenkopf." I just don't need it. We're
going to go smokable during the next break.
Are you really? Well, I'm going to start doing drugs heavy. In fact, I think I'll take tomorrow off. Although I can't do it. You know, I would do that.
No.
No what?
You're not allowed to.
Well, we have ratings coming tomorrow morning at 10. Maybe I'll leave at 10:30.
No.
In fact, if they're what I think they're going to be, maybe we'll all be leaving about 10:15. Not Chris though.
Hey.
You're in. I'm sure they like you a lot. That's why you're working 20 hours today. 1191 on our burger survey. Boy, I guarantee you, Brandon he's rubbing his hind legs together right now. He's so excited about his burger poll. Although it's not going over as big. What was the one we had 14? Oh, that was the OJ one. Remember we had 1,400 during the show? We're not going to do that today. I don't think. Are we?
Be positive.
Like I said, 13 would be a nice number. The best burgers come from Fuddruckers 250, Char Hut 185. Well, that's pretty much about the way it has been all the way along. Wendy's 103. I got no complaint with Wendy's, other than at the drive-thru, some of their employees tend to be a little on the side. You know what I mean by that? In fact, I'm discovering that just about anywhere you go, including here, that like when you go into retail stores and like into malls and stuff like that, they hire a bunch of dumb kids who have no idea what it is that they're doing and who don't really care, who are getting paid minimum wage, who don't want to give you any service, it's kind of like you're bothering them, and their whole day consists of, hey, bro, what time's the lunch break? What time you gonna, who are you going out with tonight? Crap like that. And like you're interrupting this. I mean, they're having a good time, and you're like expecting to get waited on. You want service. And like even in some of those stores I was telling you about, those overpriced stores like Abercrombie and Bitch, right? The punks that work in those places, and oh my God, all the stuff you have to go through. It's like going to the bank. Every transaction is like a government transaction. That's how my bank is here. Oh, here's the menu, by the way. Yesterday's specials from Lefties. Pasta fagioli. Oh, pasta fagiolini, excuse me. That's like little tiny pastas. Pasta fagiolini. Sausage appetizers, mild Italian sausage, broccoli, rabe, and garlic and oil finished in a light spicy marinara. Crab cakes, beef carpaccio. St. Louis ribs, baby back ribs, or like Ron Popeil on that spot. Baby back ribs. Ever see that infomercial? I'm sure you don't. You don't watch it.
I want my baby back.
Baby back ribs. Grouper Francese, sausage, onions, and peppers pasta. Oh, that sounds really good. Did they bring that? I want it.
Yeah.
Can't eat it, but I want it.
It's great.
Semi-boneless grilled half chicken and pan-roasted filet mignon were yesterday's specials. So we're going to be opening that baby up in about 4 minutes. Lefties, we got $150 certificates for $25 on WQM.com. I'd get poised to get on there right now. Wouldn't you be poised?
Yeah, I'm poised right now.
Hello, Ileana Ross Laitman, and I like scrubbing my smelly gorilla ass with soap made from jewels and listening to the Neil Roque Comunista Hour.
You fail. Men who like talking about other guys are usually hiding from what they realize. They want their nose in an athlete's life. Listen, yellow jockstrap. Much like in sport holes conceal their fear by talking about sports while drinking a beer. They desire, of course, to be a submissive queer. For some yellow jockstrap. Yellow jockstrap. Yellow jockstrap. Only queers want to hear sports all day. Yellow jockstraps. Yellow jockstraps. The management here is undeniably gay. Anyone who wants to hear just sports all stinking day is dreaming about a locker room, golden shower spray. Yellow jockstraps. Hey, how about those Dolphins? What a game they played. And somebody's kid with the Hurricanes. You talk about it all the time, makes you a maggot, I'm afraid. You like yellow jockstraps. Churning and burning out morning shows. No interest in learning about radio. Just a sausage party for a few sporthole homos who like yellow jockstraps. Yellow jockstraps. Yellow jockstraps. Sporthole sissies who are and out. Yellow jockstraps. Yellow jockstraps. They're on your mind to be in your mouth. Sports, 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 sports. Sports all day, makes you gay. Sports all day, makes you gay. Sports all day, makes you gay.
And don't forget, starting at 3:30 this afternoon,
The hurricane f***ing blow.
it's Cane's droppings for hours and hours and just forever.
Hey.
More than you can handle, yes?
Don't be saying it like that.
Oh. Oh,
We
yeah,
love the
I forgot
hurricane.
to check our thing, by the way.
We're down to 52.
On WQM.com?
Yes, sir.
Well, we'd be doing better than that if I would have remembered to look at it, because when I look at it, I give it the evil eye, and all of a sudden they just hop them up like crazy.
Oh, is that what it is?
Oh, now, what is that? Beat Dan Marino is above my thing?
Yeah, I know. That guy
Well,
moved the
screw
other day.
you, Danny boy. What the hell is that?
I think we need to beat up Josh Cordes.
Beat Dan my ass. Nice going, Cordes. It's the last check you're getting from me.
No wonder he's not here today.
52 left out of about 51. They're not going as fast, and I don't understand why, because you were raving about how great the food at Lefty's was.
Oh, it's great food.
And we're talking about food today, about burgers, and everybody ought to be, their appetite ought to be whipped up to a frenzy, but they're not going in the huge chunks like they usually do. I'm refreshing it and clicking it over and over again. It still says 51, remaining out of the 100.
Well, it took 18 minutes to sell the last time we had 100.
Yeah.
So we're doing pretty good here.
We are?
Yeah.
No, we're not. Nothing is happening on there, baby. Nothing is happening. I'm
fault.
refreshing that thing over and over and over again, clicking it. I'm twisting it. I'm yanking it. Nothing's happening. It still says 51. That's not a good sign, man. Not a good sign.
49.
What?
See, 49. Calm down.
49 my ass. Are you a crazy person or what?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you're right. 49. Still a lot. That's still like almost half are left. They're supposed to go like that. Bush's cabinet has gone off script. In an interview with New York Times columnist David Brooks yesterday, Defense Secretary Robert Gates was asked if the Iraq War was worth it. His response, if I had known then what I know now, would I have done the same? I think the answer is, I don't know. Oh, that sounds like Fat-Ass Jolly Joe. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell you, Neil. I don't know what to tell you. What do you want from me anyway? You want like real radio? Yeah, this thing is slowed down to a crawl. This is not a good sign.
Maybe they're hung up.
What do you mean by that? Or maybe they can't find where to click on there because Josh Cordes stuck Danny Marino above our thing to click on there. Maybe that's it. You think that's it? It's a good excuse. Let's blame Danny boy. It's got those fancy, how can you not see there where it's got My Ugly Puss and it says open now. It's got all those colorful, multicolored.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know what? I'm clicking on it and it's not working again. I went back to that and I'm clicking on it and it's not working. So I guess you have to go way over on the right, and now it's like real small, and that's why they're not doing it, because you got to go way down on the right there to find the damn thing to get on it.
I don't know what you do that it changes, because it always comes up in the same place for me.
That changes what?
The placement of it. You said like it's not working when you click the left-hand side.
That's correct.
You're doing
on
something.
On the right, there used to be a big, like a bumper sticker thing there, and now it's like a little teeny tiny. It's way on down, about halfway down. You got to scroll way down, and there's Sawgrass Ford, and then there's some other thing under that, and then there's that little thing again, which it works. I mean, you click it right away, but who the hell's going to find that? And now there's 47.
Correct.
So they're slowing us down intentionally, I think, by potching around and putting Dan Marino above me. I'll tell you one thing, it's a cold day in hell when Danny Boy is going to be above me in any way, in any sense.
You sure?
Positive.
Oh, he's too old for you now, that's right.
He was always too old for me and too ugly. Those lips, oh my God. Anyway, it says, Brooks' column says, after the speech I asked Robert Gates about best ways to spread democracy, we have a variety of tools, he said. Not all of them are hammers. Ronald Reagan deployed more of the array than many, he said. Reagan used forceful rhetoric, but also small displays of force, shooting down Libyan jets over the Gulf of Sidra to demonstrate American resolve. I don't think you invade Iraq to bring liberty. You do it to eliminate an unstable regime because sanctions are breaking down and you get liberty as a byproduct, he continued. I asked him whether invading Iraq was a good idea, knowing what we know now. He looked at me for a bit and said, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. How do you like that?
I don't know.
Robert Gates and his brother V. Gates. This is really terrifying. 40, we just went back up to 48. Now,
Really?
how is that possible?
You know that. People get rejected. Deadbeats.
48.
48, yeah.
Not so great. I don't think we're going to sell them out. I think we're going to do like a Stu Gotts today.
No, we'll sell them out.
Never.
And of course, on the eve of tomorrow's big ratings party, this is not a good sign. It's enough to make you just want to put your head in your hands and cry like an infant. Which I've been doing plenty of that. 45. Now we're starting to make a little bit of a move. They're finally catching on. Many voters undecided about 2008. Just off the quaint town square, a pizza shop owner and an employee took a break to banter about politics one recent late summer day. They didn't always agree, but like many others, found common ground on their preference for president. No one yet. I'm turned off, Chad Versteeg, 42-year Republican who runs the Pizza Ranch restaurant, Pizza Ranch. He lamented the mudslinging by both parties and said, I don't look forward to this election. I'll tell you I do.
And the emotions.
Because he's going to be gone. Oh. Added fellow conservative Joel Ruish, 36, I haven't followed it enough to even come close to picking who to support. For all the time and money the candidates have invested, a large number of voters in each party remain uncommitted or willing to change their minds 4 months before voting begins. And more Republicans fall in that category than Democrats. The difference reflects the wide-open GOP race. There are several strong contenders, Rudy Giuliani, Fred Thompson, Mitt Romney, and John McCain, but none's emerged as a consensus of the dispirited Republican establishment. Conversely, the Democratic field is more settled. Swillery's got a sizable lead over most formidable challengers, Barack Obama and John Edwards. Democratic voters have indicated they're relatively comfortable with their choices, thus more have picked somebody to back. It's still all very fluid. Relatively few people have focused a lot on this. People aren't fully committed yet, said Andrew Kohut, a nonpartisan pollster and director of the Pew Research Center. Generally, most people are going to make up their mind in the month of the primary, and some people make up their mind in the final days. How are we doing on this, baby? Any progress at all? 43. Really slow.
Let's go, people. Let's get these things sold.
43. And then keep in mind, these are cheapies. These are $50 certificates for $25.
Well, you figure we've already sold 57 of them, so.
Well, what does that mean?
Normally,
well, what does that mean?
50.
No, we've had plenty of weeks when we've had 100 on there.
We've only had
they go in
3
big
weeks.
chunks, baby. They go in chunks.
Well, I think it's all your
75 to 50 to 31 to 17 to 6 to 5 to 2 to 1 to 0, like that. Just 41. Like the numbers on QAM under Fat Ass Jolly Joe Bell.
It's all your fault.
41.
That's what I said.
But you know what? I'll check back with it. Like we used to say when we were on SUN. Check back with us later. We might have something you want to hear on the air. Check back with us later. Remember those promos?
No.
No, I'm not talking to George.
You are.
Don't you remember the WSUN things with Tom Velveeta? Check back with us later. We have some other show on. If you don't like this piece of crap, you might check back with us. Now, the good news is we have 1,219 votes. Maybe that's the problem. They're all busy as hell voting on our poll about the best burger in town. Now we're in the past. Fuddruckers, 250. Char Hut, 189. Wendy's, 106. Steak and Quake, 98. In-N-Out, 88. White Castle, 88. Arnold's Royal Castle, 84. And after that, Rudy's is up to 46. Remember Rudy Kazudi?
No.
You don't remember Rudy Kazudi? Well, you're not old enough.
No.
40.
On it.
We're selling these by the ones on that thing. I'm getting too depressed looking at that. I'll leave that in Chris's capable fat hands.
Okay.
Can you handle it?
I think so.
Down to 40. That means we sold 60, though, is what he would say, which I don't know what the hell that means. So what's that supposed to prove?
It means we sold 60, old man.
Now, see, I call him that because I've been with him a long time.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh,
How do you rate?
Well, he just keeps telling me to call you old man. I don't like to. So.
I see.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Do I?
Well, you guys have a nice food fight during the break. I'm going to tell you one thing. When we come back from the break, we better be like dwindling down to a precious few on those certificates. Because that's just a shot in my... That's like a kick in the ass.
38.
Neil God.
Don't like all the heartburn. Dum dum dum. Every time I see dum 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 that retarded dimwit dum 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 on my TV. He's President Trump. Republicans muscled in an inarticulate idiot. I don't know why they would want this guy, but now he's here. We're screwed the next 4 years with President Dumb. Oh, what I can do to count votes once more and get who we all voted for. Why did you want this? Dum dum dum. Lips drumming, stupid heat. Dum dum dum. Mindless, drunk, and rich kid. Dum dum dum. He's even dumber than me. He's President Dumb. You don't care what it took. You got him in by hook or crook. The Christian right knows what's best for you and I, but have no fear. We've got a great leader here with President Dumb. President Dumb.
Take a peek at that, baby. We got 32 certificates left there for lefties. $50 certificates for $25 on WQM.com. And that thing still doesn't work, that icon. Still doesn't work, the one on the left. Does it work for you?
Yeah, it works for me.
No, it doesn't work for me. I guess inside the building. If you're inside the QM building, it might work. Outside the building, forget about it. We're down to 31, and then there's one bogus one, so evidently, that's back up to 32. You don't find this shocking and dismaying?
No. Of course, we do have twice as many as usual,
No, we don't.
He doesn't want to hear that.
You're just parroting that because he said that. There's been several where we've had 100. And
the average is 50, though.
Now we're down to 31.
You're off your rocker. There's been several weeks where we've had 100 50s. Okay?
Okay.
That's okay. If they don't want them, I'll take them. I'll come on down there and use them all. That's right. And then
they're going.
What?
They're going. We're down to 31.
Oh, that means you've sold 69, but don't say it because Joyce will get upset if you say that. Well, see, you're not on top of this every week like I am. I refresh it and I keep watching. In fact, during the first break, 30.
About 30, man.
Well, now I feel so much better. Osama bin Laden will release a new message today declaring war on Pakistani President Pervert Musharraf, Al-Qaeda announced today. The announcement of the upcoming message came as al-Qaeda released a new video in which bin Laden's deputy, Ayman the Payman al-Zawahiri, boasted that the U.S. was being defeated in Afghanistan, Iraq, and other places. Officials in Pakistan confirmed today that Musharraf is also Pakistan's military chief, would seek a second 5-year term as president. Speakers in the video promised more fighting in Afghanistan, North Africa, and Sudan's Darfur region. The messages are part of a stepped-up propaganda campaign by al-Qaeda around the anniversary of the 9/11 attacks against the World Trade Center and the Pentagon. Earlier this month, bin Laden released 2 messages, including his first new appearance in a video in nearly 3 years with that really dark beard and with that pancake makeup. No doubt from his own personal private studio somewhere in France. Well, you know the French, they never met a terrorist they didn't like. It's always been that way. We got 30 on NeilRogers.com. I mean on WQM.com. I don't know where it is.
This is our 14th week doing this.
Yes?
This is only the 4th time we've had 50.
No, we have 100. See, you don't
I'm
even
sorry,
know
it's
how
only
many
the 4th time we've had 100.
You don't even know how many we've got. You're just making sounds with your mouth.
Ma.
Yeah, and you call me the old man, and you're choking on fat so bad that you don't even know how many we've got.
So again, this is only the 4th time we've had to do 100, so
yeah.
We're doing very well.
No, we're not. We're not doing very well. It's weak, and there's still 30 on there. Don't you understand? By now, they ought to be verifying. It ought to say sold out, and we're checking it out and seeing who's naughty and nice and see how many deadbeats we got out there. But it's still stuck on.
About 30, man.
Not good. See, you're a rationalizer. That's what you are. You're just rationalizing. And tomorrow morning, you'll see what I'm telling you, man. You will be weeping like a baby, like an infant.
But that's just because of all the hours I'm working.
Yeah, you'll be weeping about that. So he never did anything about that. He never alleviated the situation, Clarence, about you working 400 hours today?
Well, I've got Rob doing the Mandich show.
Who the hell is Rob?
Rob Walker.
Who's that?
He's one of our esteemed producers.
Robert W. Walker?
Yes, and he's the guy that I work with on the Hurricanes pregame, postgame, and game. And then so once we get into the game, we'll do like we normally do, and he runs it for about 3 hours, then I run the game, and then he does postgame.
Still stuck on 30 on there. I have a feeling this is going to be a Stugat situation.
Never.
If we have certificates left when I leave here at 2 o'clock today, I'm taking a few weeks off to reevaluate my life. A banner posted on an Islamic militant website today advertised that another message would be released, although it didn't say whether bin Laden would appear in the video or speak in an audio tape or what language he would be speaking in. It said all these things. Soon, God willing, come to jihad from Sheikh Osama bin Laden. God protect him, the banner reads. Urgent. Al-Qaeda declares war on the tyrant, pervert Musharraf and his apostate army, in the words of Osama bin Laden, it read. Oh. Yeah, that's right. That's what they're saying. You got it. That's what they're saying. Just like our general manager. What are we going to do, Joe? And that's his response. I don't know what to tell you, Neil. I don't know what to say. Oh, 29 now. There's another one. We're selling them by the ones, as opposed to usually the way it goes in chunks. I don't think you did a good enough job raving about how great the food was. 27.
Well, that's because I had my mouth full of it.
Well, maybe they couldn't understand when you raving about that sandwich and about all the other good stuff. 27. Well, we got an hour and 38 minutes, but who's counting, you know? City officials in New York have denied Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad his request to visit the site of the destroyed World Trade Center next week. A police spokesman said yesterday, we don't want no Ahmadinejad in New York.
27.
I just got through saying 27. That's what I just said.
No, you didn't.
You're catching it from Fatso over there, man. It's starting to affect your mind. I just got
grapes.
24.
I'm a grape eater.
24. 24. Wow. It's a challenge this week, which is unusual. Now, let's see. It's the 20th. Oh, that explains it. 20th of September. It must be some kind of it's Ramadan.
Oh, yeah.
The controversial outspoken President Ahmadinejad wanted to pay his respects and lay a wreath at the site of the 2001 al-Qaeda attack during his visit to the UN General Assembly. Police Commissioner Raymond Kelly said, citing Iranian officials, I wonder what the Orthodox Jews would have done in New York. There's only, by the way, 3 million Jews in New York. Not all Orthodox, of course, thank God. But nevertheless, if Ahmadinejad was there in the site of the World Trade Center, at ground zero, but workers are rebuilding the foundations of the site. It wouldn't be possible for him to go where other people don't go, Kelly told CNN. Iranian officials have not put in any additional requests to visit the public platforms at Ground Zero. Police spokesman Paul Brown told CNN, but he said if there were further requests, we'd reject it because of security fears. They'd kill his ugly, slimy ass. The Iranian mission to the UN said it hadn't been told of the decision, but in a statement issued Wednesday evening called the rejection unfortunate. Ahmadinejad's predecessor at the time of 9/11 attacks, Mohammad Khatami, condemned them, and Tehran cooperated with the U.S.-led campaign to topple al-Qaeda's Taliban allies in Afghanistan that followed. The U.S. considers Iran a state sponsor of terrorism and has accused the country of meddling in Iraq and Afghanistan, where U.S. troops are battling Taliban and al-Qaeda remnants for more than 6 years after 9/11 attacks. There was no al-Qaeda in Iraq before the Iraq attack. I just thought I'd mention that again. There was no al-Qaeda in Iraq before the Iraq attack. I just thought I'd mention that again and again and again.
Why do you hate America?
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say we got 24 left here on this thing. I'm trying to say I'm really disappointed in this audience, man. Put some quality food out there at a very, very modest $25 for a $50 certificate. In fact, they all ought to be buying up 3, 4. You can buy up to 5. If they would buy 5 apiece, we could do this in about 1 minute. Do it in a handful of seconds. And now there's 24. Pope refuses to meet Condoleezza, and you want to know why? You probably heard that song we used to play.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think we'll play it tomorrow when the ratings come out.
Excellent.
I don't think that's a good idea. I think it's a plan. Yeah. Condoleezza. Let's play it. Pope Benedict XVI, the Nazi Pope, refused to meet U.S. Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice in August, saying he was on holiday, an Italian newspaper reported Wednesday. Rice made it known to the Vatican she absolutely had to meet the Pope to boost her diplomatic credit ahead of the trip to the Middle East, the Corriere della Sera daily reported without citing its sources. She had to meet the Pope. She's just dying to find out where he gets that dress. She was hoping to meet the Pontiff at his summer residence of Castel Gandolfo in the beginning of August. The Pope is on holiday was the official response. They blew her off. It said the reply illustrated the divergence of view between the Vatican and the White House about the initiatives of the Bush administration in the Middle East. The newspaper said the Pope had rejected all meetings with political representatives during August. Hey, it's Augusto, baby. The Italians, they all vamoose in August. Shows you how dumb. You're dealing with a bunch of dumb goyim running the government in the U.S. What do they know about Italy? Huh? August? Nobody's there. U.S. Ambassador to the Vatican, Francis Rooney, said relations between Washington and the Holy See were close. See? Since the beginning of formal diplomatic relations in 1984, the U.S. and the Holy See have enjoyed a high level of cooperation on a wide array of issues, but we don't want to see no Condoleezza. That's what it said in the Corriere della Sera. How are we doing on there? Still stuck on 24? 22. So you're not even paying any attention, for Christ's sakes. You could be giving me a big boost in confidence here.
You got to let one pot never boils. That's what I was told.
You could, boil this. Stick your head in it for about a half an hour and see if it reaches a nice boil. 22, 22, and and there's OJ coming back to Florida there on CNN. Just what we need. Middle of lunch hour.
The best talent.
There's OJ on the plane. There's OJ doing a duck.
560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Just snap.
Today on TMZ.
Jihadist Muhammad Abdel Al called Britney a prostitute. And he said that if she continues doing what she's doing, she can be stoned.
If these two prostitutes will keep doing what they will do, we can stone them.
But wait, there's more.
Brittany, what would make terrorists think that you're a prostitute?
I did it with my dad. That's it in his lap, and I drive. We're country.
Okay. Did you know that they want to stone you?
I've experimented in partying, but never that. I could never do something like that.
What?
I've been around people and I've gotten the high off of it.
No, not stoned as in high. Stoned as in throw rocks at you for being so stupid.
Oh, no.
Today on TMZ.
Okay, 12:32 at 560. I'm having to reboot my computer. I'm having an issue here on it. Oh, yeah. I'm having a reboot, eh? So how are we doing? I had 21.
17. Wait. Refreshing.
Yeah.
17.
We got 17 to go. That's not so bad. We're getting all bent out of shape about it.
I know, Chris.
You're so I know. Impatient, Chris. What's wrong with you? That's how fat people are.
What can I say?
Very temperamental and impatient. Author of this is Greg Palast. That's the book that he had in his hand, by the way. The book Andrew Meyer clutched in his hands moments before being swarmed and eventually tasered by police. A mysterious yellow book, reported the Washington Post. Isn't so mysterious after all. It's the latest from BBC investigative reporter and author Greg Palast. How do you like that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to see if I can get back on our site again here.
Get it back up?
I'm trying to get it back up again. I'm having issues. Oh, there we go. I think it's going to work. Thank God. You're just mailing it in, Neil. You're mailing it in. You're not fooling anybody, Neil. You're mailing it in. You bastard. You old bastard. Okay, now let's see if I can get our thing on there. Now I'm having difficulties getting QM.com up. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's getting swarmed on, you think? Not. Well, I'll let Chris keep his eye on it.
17.
Your eye on it?
17.
17, still. But we have 1,255 votes on our poll, on our burger poll, which is not so bad. Anyway, getting back to Greg Palast. About 11 people called me after it happened, Palast told Raw Story. Then I saw the full clip on YouTube. Palast's book, Armed Madhouse, From Baghdad to New Orleans, Sordid Secrets and Strange Tales of a White House Gone Wild, was the basis for Meyer's comments to Senator John Kerry, who had been fielding student questions in a forum at the University of Florida at FU. On video, Meyer can be heard telling Kerry he'd like to recommend the book to him. It's called Armed Madhouse by Greg Palast, the student said. He's the top investigative journalist in America. I've already read it, Kerry replied. As Meyer went on to repeat conclusions from Palast's book, which contends Kerry actually won the 2004 presidential election, which anybody with a half a brain already knows. I'm getting my computer straightened out here, so don't worry about it.
Well,
whistle the tune.
Oh, okay. Oh, more of a tune?
Now I think I'm going to get on WQM.com. See, part of the problem is, in spite of what Chris keeps saying, because he's a stubborn fat ass, I'm clicking on that thing. Oh, and it did work this time. So now that thing is working. The coast is clear. Okay?
Well, that's good.
It still says 17, though.
Correct.
But that's always a good excuse, because the other little banner thing for the Neil deals is way down in the middle. Did you see where they stuck it now? In little teeny tiny, you need like the Magnavision reading glasses to see it. And I'm sure that's no coincidence or accident. If I was Duff, I'd go in there to Josh Cordes if he ever come back and just really stick it to him. Although, and I'm sure in his case.
Yeah, it's like 2/3 of the way down the page.
Yeah, and it's small. It's tiny. It used to be about twice that size.
Even the one on that side?
Yeah.
I guess they said, your ratings aren't good enough. They're going to shrink it.
Right. Yeah, everything on this station, everything's shrinking, believe you me. Anyway, what Meyer was referring to, according to Palast, was a chapter in the book called Kerry Won, Now Get Over It, in which he says millions of votes cast in the 2004 election were discarded, not counted, or prevented from being cast in the first place, a fact the author says has special relevance to the locale of Meyer's arrest. There's an entire dimension here that's not being covered, Palast said of the controversy. The interesting thing to me as a journalist is that the Myers incident occurred in Alachua County, Florida, one of the worst places in the country for black voters. Addressing Kerry before he was taken away by officers, Meyer cites reports, presumably from Palast's book, about disenfranchisement of voters in Florida and Ohio. I don't even have my mouth full. They were deliberately disenfranchising voters, Palast said of Alachua, the county home to Gainesville's University of Florida, FU. Gainesville is horrendous, he said, and I'm sure in more ways than just one. Calling the area the center of the attack on the black voter, Palast pointed to a 2001 article that he wrote in The Nation, which details what he says were efforts under Republican-led state government to purge voting rolls of felons who were convicted in other states, eligible voters under Florida law, almost half of which may be black according to statistics in the piece. It's one ugly place, said Palast, who also added that the police's actions in the Meyer case pale in comparison to intimidation techniques used by authorities against minority voters during elections. As for the tasered Meyer, the author says he sympathizes. I must admit I feel some appreciation for Meyer, he writes at his website, especially because even while he was being shot with untold amps of electricity, until he was handcuffed, he wouldn't let go of his mysterious yellow book. He was just screaming, ow, 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 like that. Palast said he'd like to speak to the student, has contacted Meyer's lawyer to arrange a conversation. His lawyer. Maybe I'll go down and cover the trial, he added, dead seriously. Our good buddy Greg Palast, who writes some really good crap. He's the best. That's why most of his stuff has to be published in Britain, because the mainstream media in this country, they don't want to touch it because it's too close to the truth. And you know what they feel? You can't handle the truth. Isn't that the way it goes?
That's what they say.
17 still on there? Still
15.
15. Well, why didn't you tell me that?
It just changed. 13.
Wow. 13? See, now it's getting down to just a few left. Now they're going to start getting nervous. The price doesn't change. This isn't like eBay, okay?
Right.
It's not like an auction or something. The price doesn't change. These are $50 certificates. They're yours for $25, and that's the way it just is. It's not going to change if there's 10 left or if there's 90 left. Whatever the deal is, that's the deal. Schlemiel.
Schmazel.
Schmendrick. Schmirl. Chaim Yankel. Meshi Pipik.
Okay.
1,262 votes. There we go with the numbers again for the numbers guy. I'm mailing it in to you, Pally. I'm going to put it in an envelope and stick it right in the old
Rectum.
chute. U.S. caused more deaths in Iraq than Saddam Hussein, says Anti-War Tribunal. How do you like that? Sounds like a bunch of commie pinko propaganda to me.
Impropaganda.
Yeah. The World Tribunal on Iraq, the WTI, a grouping of NGOs, intellectuals and writers opposed to the war in Iraq, accused the U.S. of causing more deaths in Iraq than ousted President Saddam Hussein. With 2 wars and 13 years of criminal sanctions, the U.S. have been responsible for more deaths in Iraq than Saddam. Larry Everest, a journalist, told hundreds of anti-war activists gathered in Istanbul. Can you imagine how it must smell in Istanbul?
Wow. Why?
I don't know. Just I get that feeling. I've never been there, so maybe it smells lovely, like lilacs. Founded in 2003, the WTI is modeled on the 1960s Russell Tribunal, created by the British philosopher Bertrand Russell to denounce the war in Vietnam. It's held about 20 sessions so far in different locations around the world. A symbolic verdict was to be handed down on Monday by the 14 jurors of conscience, including the militant Indian novelist Arundhati Roy, winner of the 1997 Booker Prize for The God of Small Things.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking about if small things have a God, you know?
Sure.
Oh, God!
The tribunal has for the past 2 years been gathering what it says is evidence that the war launched in March 2003 to oust Saddam was illegal. It has also been gathering evidence of exactions allegedly committed by coalition troops. Its verdict on Monday after a final session is expected to condemn both the U.S. and Britain. Roy told the gathering here the evidence collated in this tribunal should be used by the International Criminal Court, whose jurisdiction in the U.S. Does not recognize, to try as war criminals George Bush, Tony Blair, John Howard, Silvio Berlusconi, and all his government officials, army generals, and corporate CEOs who participated in this war and now benefit from it. All these crooks, all these goyim. Farbissen. That's what they said. Do you think it's falling on deaf ears?
Absolutely.
You betcha, because we're worried about O.J., baby. O.J. and Brittany and Anna Nicole and all this stuff. Important crap. Not unimportant crap, like with a lot of dead people and murder and bloodshed and robbery and thievery on a grand scale. We're more interested in sports memorabilia. What are they saying around the joint there about O.J.?
I have no idea.
I don't talk to these
bunch of
people.
pictures back up on the wall. We're going to hire back the water Nazis so we can have like another monument to O.J. there. Maybe we can build an O.J. statue in front of the building.
That's a good idea.
Put Jolly Joe in charge of that. I'll give him something to do anyway. 1,265 on that poll, Josh. You're going to make 1,400. Who?
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
In Florida.
Absolutely.
Only got 4 left, okay? What are you getting all excited about? You guys just calm down, please.
Way down in Jamaica in the Caribbean, they got the best herb that you ever seen. Ask anybody in that neighborhood, they tell you this the country where the ganja be good. Rastaman has some he want to sell, and from a mile away you can detect the smell of smoke. Smoke, ganja smoke, smoke. He light up the spliff and toke. Smoke, ganja smoke, smoke. Smoke, ganja smoke, smoke. The ganja be good. You can carry lots of herb in the gunny sack. Smoke it every day until your lungs turn black. With all the money that we have made, Jamaica doesn't need any foreign aid. American tourists come here and say, got nothing like this in the USA. They smoke, smoke, ganja smoke, smoke. They light up the spliff and toke. They begin to cough and choke. Smoke, ganja smoke, smoke. The ganja be good. Mama tell her son you are a Rasta man. You like to smoke the giant spliff whenever you can. Many people coming here from miles around to buy the herb from you by the ounce and the pound. Rasta man say to her, Mama, you right. The ganja be good tonight. And then they smoke. Smoke, ganja smoke, smoke.
They light up the spliff and choke. Smoke, ganja, smoke, smoke. Smoke, ganja, smoke, smoke. The ganja be good. Yeah, man.
1247 at 560 WQAM. Happy Thursday, too. We got 3 certificates left for lefties. Left for lefties. From lefties. About lefties. In lefties. 3 out of 100. I guess that's not so bad, because it's not even 1 o'clock yet.
Right.
So what were you getting all bent out of shape about before? What was you getting excited about, Chris?
I don't know.
Just that Latino temper, man. That must be it.
Mm-hmm.
If you ate some more of that food, you'd probably calm down a little. I know it works for me. Jesus court painting survives ACLU attack. How do you like that? A disputed portrait of Jesus will remain at the Slidell City Courthouse in Louisiana after a federal judge refused to grant a demand by the ACLU to have the painting removed. By the way, Chris, I'll let you keep your eye on those 3, okay? Let us know when we're down to... Because I have a feeling we're going to sell them all out. We don't want to do Stugatz.
No worries.
And leave up there on the website for days and weeks on end. Oh, we still have 38 left from 2 weeks ago. Wouldn't that be something? If they got such a gigantic audience over there in the afternoon, why can't they even sell out their certificates? Huh?
Because no one's listening.
And that must be it. They must get a lot of wired diaries over there across the street, Joel. You idiot.
You fairy.
The court today recognized that the First Amendment allows public officials and not the ACLU to determine what's appropriate for acknowledging our nation's legal and cultural heritage, said Mike Johnson, senior legal counsel for the Christian legal group Alliance Defense Fund, in a statement Friday. That's not Mike Johnson, the hockey player, by the way, former Leaf. The ACLU's sole and stated objective in this case was to have the Jesus painting removed, but the Constitution does not prohibit public buildings from memorializing great figures from our history. Is Jesus a great figure from our history?
From our mythology.
Wow. The Jesus portrait, which has been on display in the courthouse for more than a decade, had spurred the ACLU to file a lawsuit claiming that the display violated the separation of church and state. In response, the city of Slidell mounted additional portraits of 15 of the history's prominent lawgivers alongside the Jesus painting. The framed portraits added on August 31 included those of Confucius, Hammurabi, Moses, Charlemagne, and Sir William Blackstone. Alongside the 16 framed portraits, are reproduction of the U.S. Constitution and a mounted explanation of the various figures in the paintings. However, the added prints did not appease the ACLU, which refused to drop the case. It's sad we've reached the point where such images have to be defended, ADF Johnson said. The ruling today is believed to be the first ever federal court decision to specifically review and uphold as constitutional an image of an adult Jesus on public display. How about the baby Jesus?
What about me?
How about the baby? The baby is sick. The baby. While such images and other religious symbols are common in public buildings throughout the U.S., none have been challenged in this manner before, he added. Judge Ivan Lamel on Friday ruled against the ACLU and said the only remaining issue to be resolved is attorney's fees. ADF has many times defended communities in southern Louisiana against ACL lawsuits, including after Hurricane Katrina, when the ACLU sued to block a privately funded memorial to storm victims because it included a cross. Oh. Like I told you, too many goyim, baby. Now look at this. What is this from the California Catholic Daily? Priest could give important testimony in sex abuse case sent for treatment in Canada after an emotional breakdown. This is more in a story that we had yesterday about Monsignor Urell. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Orange Diocese former Chancellor Monsignor John Urell, who was with former Bishop Norman McFarland, who was his point man for dealing with sex abuse allegations, is in a Canadian treatment center and doesn't appear likely to be returning anytime soon. A possible setback for the plaintiff in a sex abuse lawsuit against the diocese, in which Urell's testimony is considered critical. Hey, Father. Come on, help us out, Father. During a July deposition in a case against the diocese involving allegations of sex abuse by a former Mater Dei High School assistant coach who is accused of inserting his erect penis into a white sock to perform a sock play for the male students.
Now, why didn't I ever think of that?
Urell was so upset by questions about his handling of sex abuse complaints as chancellor that he walked out of his unfinished deposition crying. It was later learned that Urell had checked into the Southdown Institute near Toronto. Hey, Father! What's that thing in your sock? Urell, the pastor of St. Norbert's Church in Orange, remains on temporary medical leave from the diocese, and his attorney, Patrick Hennessy. I wonder if he's kin to Wally. has written the plaintiff's attorneys to tell him that Urel cannot finish his deposition due to an undisclosed medical condition. Oh, no. Not him, too. The judge has ordered Urel to specify his condition, but so far he hasn't complied. Sex abuse victims' lawyers have charged that as Chancellor, Urel was among the diocesan officials who kept priests in active ministry even after receiving reports of their past abuse. Last fall, Urel came under fire when he was considered for renomination of the Orange County Human Relations Commission. Complaints from abuse victims forced Urel to withdraw his name from consideration. Now, how are we doing on those 3 certificates, by the way? Still got 3?
7.
Oh, we're back up to 7 now?
Well, don't tell him.
No deadbeats.
So in other words, they went through the deal there, and then now we got 7. Okay, well, we got another hour and 8 minutes. We'll see. We got 7 left there for lefties. $25. During Bishop Todd Brown's September 10th deposition, plaintiff's attorney John Manley, oh yeah, there's the Manley man, pressed Brown to reveal what condition Urel had that required inpatient treatment. Bishop Brown insisted he didn't know what Urel was being treated for. When Manley asked if Urel was being evaluated for childhood sexual abuse, Brown replied, "I do not know that." Brown's attorney, Peter Callahan, objected to the question as to whether or not Southdown was a pedophile treatment center. Bishop Brown admitted that although Southdown treated a variety of problems, pedophilia was among them. Pedophilia as can I feed you, little girl or little boy? Bishop Brown decided to transfer Urel to Southdown at the suggestion of Father Christopher Smith, diocesan vicar of priests, who had consulted with Urel's doctors and attorney. Brown also testified that he had no idea Urel would be called as a witness for the upcoming trial, nor did he know when he expected him back. Callahan pointed out there were at least 4 similar treatment centers available in the USA. The Diocese of Orange has posted a spin versus fact sheet on its website, which maintains that Urel was not sent to Southdown to flee jurisdiction and avoid testimony, but that the recommendation to place Monsignor Urel in a residential treatment facility was made by him himself, his doctors, his family, and close friends at the diocesan vicar for priests, Father Christopher Smith. Bada-beep, bada-boop, bada-bop. According to the September 19th Orange County Register, Hennessy said he saw Urel was in distress in late August. Hennessy got Urel an appointment with a priest-psychiatrist who suggested immediate hospitalization on September 18th. But why in Canada, he asked? My understanding, Hennessy said, is that this facility treats a variety of conditions, but is uniquely qualified in matters involving clergy members and understands pastoral life. Oh, yeah. Hennessy said plaintiff's lawyers have agreed not to require Urel to complete the deposition as long as they could use what he said in the deposition for a 2001 molestation case. During a July deposition, I'm just reading that one sentence again. During a July deposition in a case against the diocese involving allegations of sex abuse by a former Mater Dei high school assistant coach who is accused of inserting his erect penis into a white sock to perform a sock play for the male students, Urel was so upset about questions of his handling of sex abuse complaints as chancellor, he walked out of his unfinished deposition crying. Now see, we ought to play it again. Play Roy Orbison, you can play that.
Coming right up.
Aerosmith. No, don't do it. Cry. Don't do it. We did enough music yesterday, okay? We don't want to get Charlie B all whipped up again. Oh, that was great. That was the greatest show ever.
I was all right for a while.
But not anymore.
I could
He's not dead anymore. He's not all right.
for a while.
Well, this thing still doesn't. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. That icon on there on WQM.com.
I like everything else.
Yeah, like everything else at our station. We got 7 left. 7 certificates, and they're just sitting there, okay? I guess we must have gone to 0, right?
Not that I saw, no.
Oh, so we just went back up to 7? In other words, 4 people changed their mind, or 4 people more likely in this crowd are deadbeats, like chicken.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Hi, this is Brady Quinn. I like to shave my legs, arms, and buns while listening to the Neil Rogers 1 to 2 hour.
Tom Brady's out. I want some win. You ain't seen no man quite like Brady Quinn. He's a football player, dude, a solid wall of meat. The kind of guy that I want to do, that's good enough to eat. I wonder if he'll go on a date, but there's no chance at all. So does that make me a sports queer if I want to see him grab the ball?
Absolutely.
Oh, baby, wow. Look at that kid. You ain't seen no man quite like Brady Quinn. I got a high-def screen that helps me see his buns. I can drool all I wanna, but I ain't gonna never get none. Notre Dame's up a missing school, okay, that's not so great. But I'm gushing over him madly,
At least until he's 28.
I'm Brady's out. I want some Quinn. You ain't seen no man quite like Brady Quinn. Oh, baby, wow. Look at that kid. You ain't seen no man quite like Brady Quinn.
101 at 560 WQM. We're making a little progress there. We're down to 6 now. Got 6 left. On the lefty certificates on WQAM.com. Go down on the right side, about halfway on all that crap they got on there, in the middle of those 85 different spots. And you'll see that little banner with my push on it, and then you'll be able to get on there, because that other thing, it works sometimes it do and sometimes it don't. Even though Chris says, oh, no, it's you, Neil, it's your computer, it's your, whatever. It must be a Canadian thing, you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that must be it. But at any rate, we got 6 left. And I'm not going to get all upset about it. What am I going to do? I remember one week when we had 100, when we carried it right down to the last few minutes. Remember that?
Yeah.
No.
I do. Like the last, about 8 minutes till 1. Till 2. Whatever the hell it was. What time did we get done? At 1 o'clock? Okay, see ya. GOP, and we got 1,290 votes on the poll, so 13 is in. I'm going for 1350. What do you say, Chris? 1350 on the burger poll, which I'm not paying any attention to that because you got me all whipped up about this damn Neil's Deal thing.
Oh, well.
But we got 6 left. 6 certificates, $50 certificates for $25, and we can't sell those out? Jesus, God almighty. Jolly Joe Bell, what you've done to me, to my life, You've reached in and you've torn my kishkis out, and you don't even know what the hell that means. That's the problem with Beasley Broadcasting. Too many goyim. That's the problem. In fact, if you ask me, that's the problem with the world. Too many religious nuts of all stripes and varieties. Goyim and Jews and Farbissina Muslims and not-so-Farbissina and Buddhists and all this other crap. Maharishi, Mahesh, Yogi, Berra, all these crazy people. Bada-beep, bada-boop, bada-bop, all this garbage. George has got the answer. Drugs.
Sure.
That's what the Beatles did. Look what it did for them.
A lot.
1,294 votes on the poll. Now, what? 5. We're down to 5. Okay. Keep your eye peeled on that thing. When we get to 0, we're going to have like a big party in our pants. The best burgers come from Fuddruckers, 268. That's been leading all the way, and it's still got a nice, solid lead, I would say.
Rock solid.
Not the meat, the vote. Char Hut, 200. Steak and Shake, 106. Oh, Steak and Shake and Wendy's are tied for 3rd now at 106. Where the hell did that come from? Probably the people that work for Steak and Shake. No, I like Steak and Shake. It's just that for a period of time, their meat was falling apart.
Okay.
You know what the one up there on Sunrise by the Sawgrass?
No.
You don't?
I don't know that one, no.
Well, why not? That's not your territory, but it's my territory.
Well,
I could walk there from my house, for Christ's sakes. Not from this house.
Sure.
Steak and Shake and Wendy's are tied for 3rd, 106. White Castle, 96. You know, I'm not so sure I ever ate a White Castle. I mean, that's a long time ago.
I'm sure I haven't.
Not old. You sure what?
I'm sure I have not. Royal Castle's all over the place when they used to be down here.
Right, and like Wayne Arnold's is making a comeback. Arnold's Royal Castle, 85.
Right. We hope, we pray.
Rudy's, 46, which Rudy's, we put it on there as an afterthought. Somebody faxed it in, thank goodness. And we raved about how great it was, and it made a big, gigantic move, and it went up to 40, and then that was it. I guess all the Rudy's people piled on, you know? Piled it on. And that was the end of that, 46. I thought it was going to make an astronomical movement up there. You know, you ever have an astronomical movement?
Just this morning.
Yeah, me too. Checkers / Rallies, 38. Burger King, 36. Hardee's, 33. Crystal, 28. Sonic, 24. Mickey D's has got 23. Jack in the Box, 19. Big Boy, 16. Flanagan's, 12. Jack's Hamburgers, 12. Never heard of it. Whataburger, 10. Five Guys, 9. Vic and Irv's, 8. Fat Burger, 8. And 8. Burger Chef, 7. Duffy's Tavern, 6. Burger Queen, 3. And Hot and Now, only 3. I guess not too many people want to eat with a queen.
And 4 certificates.
We got 4 now. Okay. Well, so slowly but surely, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day. If we can get those 4 gone by 1:30, I'll feel like we've had a major accomplishment here, you know? We don't want to have a Stu Gott situation because it's really embarrassing, and people look at that and they go, ah, ha, 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 ha! Look at that. 2 weeks later, and he's still trying to peddle crap from 2 weeks ago because they don't have enough listeners to sell all the stuff all out. You know, you can make up all the phony baloney crap you want, and they had like 3 months of Wired Diaries in there during the last 2 years. Oh, wait. Well, we'll see what happens tomorrow. You know, I shouldn't open up a big mouth now. Because, like I said, I've got a real sick feeling in the pit of my stomach, and a good part of it has to do with those numbers coming out 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. What's your take, George? What's George think?
I think it's going to be better than it has been, which is saying a lot.
You really do?
Yeah.
Dropping off a big May.
I know.
And including and still hanging on to a horrendous June.
I know.
Oh.
I think it'll be better. Not great, just in the right direction. How's that? I think it'll be up from the previous trend.
Well, okay, I think you're full of crap.
All right, well.
GOP contender Mitt Romney is launching a radio ad today touting his opposition to gay marriage. We talked about this yesterday, and here's the radio ad today. Well, I'm not here it is, but here it's here. It's alive. Romney, who's been hit by conservatives for being soft on gay issues in the past, says he is the only major Republican candidate backing a constitutional amendment to ban same-sex marriage. I'm more homophobic than you are. Yeah. Not all Republican candidates agree, but defending marriage is the right thing to do, Romney says in the 60-second spot, targeting Iowa's evangelical Christians and meant to set him apart from Fred Thompson, John McCain, and Rudy Giuliani in the Iowa caucus race. Who's the most bigoted of them all? Giuliani takes a different approach in his new Iowa radio spot, portraying himself as the Republican most likely to win over moderate voters in the general election. Many conservatives are leery of Giuliani because of his views on gay rights and abortion. Meanwhile, Romney said in an online session that he would not have to agree politically with any appointees he would seek to place on the Supreme Court, but he'd expect them to be strict legal constructionists in the model of Chief Justice John Roberts. Oy vey. He listed 3 other conservative jurists, Clarence Token Thomas, Antonin Scalia, and Samuel Alito, as model appointees to the nation's highest court. In other words, I am a Nazi, is what he was trying to say. So all you people that are all whipped up about, well, Mitt Romney looks so good, and he's got that nice haircut, almost as good as John Edwards, but not quite as expensive. Yeah, right. A freaking fascist if there ever was one. And see that when you're a Republican, that's what you have to do. You have to appeal to the base. Oh, here's that queen with the vest on again, that bald-headed queen on CNN.
I'm not watching
paying. And he says the Fed has got to have rules out.
Can you tell me what this is all about? I keep asking you this. What is that all about? There must have been a focus group somewhere that said every show has to have one token, silly-looking queen, and hopefully with a vest on.
Right.
Is that what it's all about?
It must be.
Like, what is that guy, the movie critic? Michael Musto? Is that the guy? You know who that guy is?
No.
Oh, my God.
Michael Mayo?
Michael
Mayo?
Hold the Mayo. Michael Musto. He makes Charles Nelson Riley look like Hercules, even now. Even in the Charlie in the Box. So how are we doing? We still got, what, 4?
Yeah.
Well, that's no good. We still got 4 certificates left, and we got 51 minutes to go. Boy, if we don't have them sold by 2, I'm going to go and slink off into the distance and never be seen again. And even if we do sell them out, I might do that. What do you think of that? Do you think that's a possibility?
What?
Just taking off. Because I'm sure a person in trapped in the situation that you are in life, which you're always belly aching about, and rightfully so. I'm sure you've contemplated that.
Every minute of every day.
Oh. More and more so lately for me. I just think about, boy, especially with this new car coming the next couple of days. I gotta just hop in that beautiful Solstice and drive off into the sunset.
Sure.
Drive off into the Solstice. 1 at 560 WQAM.
In the street.
What's the problem, officer?
Deploy from the vehicle.
What?
If you're caught driving without a seatbelt, you will be removed from your car and shot. The police now have the authority to enforce seatbelt safety under the new Patriot Act 2. The new law is in effect now, so click it or be shot. Officers don't like doing this. They are only following orders. It's for your own protection in the never-ending fight against terrorism. Terrorist acts such as mouth noise, burping, and farting could be annoying to others. So under Patriot Act 2, eating will no longer be permitted in restaurants. Anyone eating outside the designated eating area will also be shot. It's the law. We like saying that. The law. The law.
The law.
The law.
The law.
It's the law.
It's the law, baby. 13-15. We still got 4 on the. That's on the poll. 1315. That's not bad. I don't think we're going to make 14, but 1350 is within reach, Chris. And then they will fear you.
And we're down to 1.
We're down to 1.
C.
Well, we can do that. I can buy it myself, for Christ's sakes. I'm not going to do it because that would be cheating. And then they talk about me and say, "Oh, Neil Rogers has to buy his own certificates on the 50-50 thing to get a lawyer," like that, you know. I don't want that. Reverend Al Sharpton arrived in Las Vegas this morning to bolster support for O.J. Simpson and raise awareness about racism in the desert.
Oh, God.
Although now he's back in Gina now, Al. He's just stirring them all up. He's stirring the pot. And Jesse, he's smoking it. When informed O.J. was being served only vanilla pudding for dessert in jail, the outspoken Sharpton called on all people of color to unify against the bigoted policies rampant in arid regions around the country.
That's right. They should be serving him chocolate pudding. Everybody knows that.
My God, Bill Cosby would be really PO'd about that. I bet it's not even Jell-O, Jello. I thought racism was bad in the big city, decried the rotund reverend. But do you know there ain't a damn naturally formed monolith? There ain't a damn naturally formed monolith in this whole country named after a brother.
Hello, everybody.
Then, quoting from the Coasters' Charlie Brown, he said, why is everybody always picking on me?" and started to cry. Is he a crazy person or what?
Yes.
Why is everybody always picking on me? And he started to cry? The rotund reverend? Fo-fo-fum.
I smell smoke in the
Auditorium, Charlie Brown.
Hello, everybody.
He sure is Al Sharpton. What a clown. Oh, boy. Now, of course, they're all in Gina, Louisiana, baby, with a banjo on their knee.
It was under the carpet. We came to pull the carpet up. If there are roaches and we turn the light on, don't blame us for being those that get rid of roaches.
Yeah, okay. You all know something about roaches, okay? Because, he's probably got a couple in the ashtray. Attorneys for a young man sexually abused by a former Catholic priest who was also his great-uncle. I guess he wasn't so great, huh? Sued church. What does that mean, great-uncle?
Like, your father's uncle, I think. I believe. I'm not sure. I'm speculating.
Sued church officials today, alleging they knew for decades that the priest was abusing children, but did nothing to warn the public or even his own family. This is in Wilmington, Delaware. Francis DeLuca, 77, was sentenced by a New York judge earlier this month to 60 days in jail for repeatedly molesting his grandnephew, Michael Dingle, 18. He liked to diddle with Dingle.
And his berries.
Oh, no.
Doi, 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 doi.
DeLuca, who pleaded guilty to 1 count of second-degree sexual abuse, 2 counts of third-degree sexual abuse, and 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a child, returned to his hometown of Syracuse in the early 1990s after being dismissed from public ministry in Delaware, where he was accused of sexually abusing a minor 30 years earlier.
A great-uncle is the brother of one of your grandparents, also called a grand-uncle. Isn't that
like a grand piano.
Exactly.
He was arrested in October. Now, did we get rid of that last one there, Chris?
Not yet.
We got 1 to go. $25 for a $50 certificate to Lefties. The food is sensational.
Yes, it was.
WQM.com. We got 1 to go. Let's get that thing sold and stop making us have to beg like a dog on its hind legs. Okay, get with it. We're doing you the favor and they act like they're doing us a favor. Bastards. Anyway, DeLuca was arrested in October after Dingle told his parents he'd been sexually abused by DeLuca from the time he was 12 or 13 until the age of 17. DeLuca served in Wilmington for 35 years. Dingle's attorneys alleged that officials with the Diocese of Wilmington knew as early as 1958 that DeLuca was molesting young boys but did nothing to stop him, deciding instead to shuffle him around from parish to parish. How unusual. What a novelty. Shortly after DeLuca was arrested in New York last fall, Wilmington Bishop Michael Saltarelli released the names of 20 diocesan priests, including DeLuca, against whom the diocese had substantiated allegations of child sex abuse. Attorney Stephen Neuberger said diocesan officials had a duty to warn church and civil authorities in New York about DeLuca, but failed to do so, and they failed to use reasonable care to protect children from him. Well, so many of these isolated incidents, you know what? And there's all the protesters running around there in Gina, Louisiana. That's in the news. 1320 on our poll on the burger poll. Nice job there, by the way, Brandon. Where's the poll for tomorrow, for Christ's sake? Although I do have all these Charlie B polls.
Yeah.
I mean, this, I don't know, has this man lost his mind or what?
Absolutely.
We're sold out. All right, we sold out.
Not official yet, but no more certificates.
It's unofficial. They're going to recheck and reevaluate, and they're going to pass it by Boopus and Tuchus and stuff like that, and then we'll be sure. If there's anything left, we'll tell you. Because I know that there's a whole bunch of people just chomping at the bit. Now look at this. Look at the poll from Charlie B. I think the college Keystone Cops, all spelled with K's, who tasered the goofball guy at Fascist U. And then, well, that's not a bad poll. I'm going to have to change that first part, but the college Keystone Cops with a K. Charlie, here's a guy that's really getting carried away with himself. That's obvious. When he sends me an email this morning, patting himself on the back for what a great job, what a great show that was yesterday with Aerosmith, and how I even played one song he had never heard before, proving that, you learned something on this show. A pastor who admitted to sex charges involving 2 girls in Kenton, Ohio, has been sentenced to 2 years and 4 months in prison. The sentence in Hardin County against Paul Leffler could allow him to serve just 1 month. Prosecutors say Leffler used his position as pastor of Freedom of the Spirit Church in Kenton to get close to the teenage girls, real close. They say he had sex with one girl and he'd been trying to get close to another. Well, if you're going to have sex with him, you got to get fairly close, I would think.
It helps.
Leffler pleaded guilty to gross sexual imposition. He didn't say anything before the sentencing. Yes, turd day. Another isolated incident. All right, let's get back to that poll now, and we are sold out, is what you say. Keep your eye on it to make sure that we don't have a bunch of them come popping back up.
Will do.
I mean, 100. I guess you're right. It's a lot, especially when you got maybe 200 people listening.
It's officially sold out.
Officially sold out. Are you positive? Are you 100% sure?
Yeah.
Did Duff come in there and give you a big pat on the ass?
No, he said he wanted to give you a kiss, though.
No, Jesus. Hey, Duff.
You ferret.
Not for me. Nicht von mir, baby. 1,324 votes. If we'd have not forgotten, but if we would have gone a little bit easier on selling the certificates, of course, if we did on that, we wouldn't have sold them. If we'd have really pushed the poll, we could have made 1,400 again, which would be twice in 1 week during the show. Now, even George, who's very skeptical of all these numbers I toss around and all the poll stuff,
what's in the number?
and really doesn't care at all. Even he would have to admit that it has to be a sign of something.
Yeah.
That maybe there are a few people straggling onto the show here.
It's a sign. Maybe it's a hand sign.
Maybe it's a high sign. High sign driven by George Napolitano Jr. at Pompano Park. Is that place still open or what?
What?
Pompano.
Who knows?
The best burgers came from or come from Fuddruckers 274 and Charhut 203. Fuddruckers still has a substantial lead. Wendy's 110. Steak and Shake 109, White Castle 95, In-N-Out 93, Arnold's Royal Castle 87. How come we said Arnold's Royal Castle? I mean, we love Wayne and all that, but shouldn't it just say Royal Castle? There were a whole bunch of them.
It should, yes.
Yeah, that's what it should say. Hey, Eric, if you can do that for us.
He can do it.
We love Wayne Arnold, but just take Arnold's off of there and just put Royal Castle, because we just got White Castle. Although Wayne Arnold is the last one going, and he had the big fire last year. Was it last year?
Earlier than that, before that.
Taken a long time, but he's rebuilding there in a very marginal neighborhood, and he's, one of these days he'll be open again. 87 for Arnold's Royal Castle. Rudy's 51. Okay, a little chunk for Rudy's again. Checkers and Rallies 39. Feh. Burger King 36. Hardee's 33. I love that shroom burger, man. I love my shrooms. You ever go to Hardee's?
Yeah.
You ever have the shroom burger?
I think I might have.
The shroom burger.
When we go to Carolina, we eat at Hardee's all the time.
You know what there used to be? In upstate New York, I don't know if they were anywhere else, was Carol's. Have we talked about this before?
Not that I can recall.
Carrol, well, however they spelled it. Carol's. They had really great fries and marginal burgers, and they had ice cream and crap. Carol, that was in Rochester in upstate New York. Boy, that's 100 years ago. That's like talking about Don and Bob's again. Oh. Now, Don and Bob's had the best, but that wasn't in South Florida. Crystal 28, Sonic 24, McDonald's 23, Jack in the Box 21, Big Boy 16. Flanagan's 13, Jack's Hamburgers 13, Whataburger 12, Five Guys 9, Vic and Irv's 8, which was similar to Don and Bob's, and also Rochester Place. And that was here for about 5 minutes in South Florida and Fort Lauderdale? Oh, all those Rochesterians are going to come flocking in here to Vic and Irv's. Wrong. And the people of South Florida are going to really love it because it's really great food. Wrong. Five Guys 9, Vic and Irv's 8, Fat Burger 8, Burger Chef 7, where you had the Fixins Bar. Duffy's Tavern 6, Burger Queen 4 for the Queen, and only 3 for Hot Now. Not So Hot and Not Now, Not Ever. You know that it's Now or Never by Elvis?
Mm-hmm.
I would pick the never part for that place. 1332 on our award-winning poll on NeilRogers.com. I hope you're right about those numbers tomorrow because that's going to determine the future of my life. One trend isn't everything.
Right.
But if it's really as horrendous and grotesque, I might just look at it and go, ah! And then you just hear silence, I might just go and wipe my butt real good one last time and hop in my new car, if I have it by then, which I seriously doubt, and I hope I don't.
Biggest names.
The best talent.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to drive it. I don't want to smell it.
The
I don't want to know
sports
it.
leader.
A stench of cow manure hovers over this performance by the Dolphins.
Welcome back to ESPN's NFL All-Con Team Selection Show. I'm Matt Franklin.
I'm Ted Brewster.
And that's a remarkably resilient Lewis, who will be talking to one of our All-Con Team selections momentarily.
Well, we have our defense. Now let's take a look at our offense.
We start at wide receiver and Antonio Bryant of the San Francisco 49ers.
Two words that best describe Bryant: speedy and elusive.
Apparently not too elusive from the long arm of the law following his DWI charge.
Great point, Matt.
Our next selection is Cincinnati Bengals wideout Chris Henry. The Bengals uniform is known for its stripes, but prison stripes might be more appropriate for Henry.
Firearms possession, assault, and a DUI.
Hey, but screw that. He's a great athlete.
Right on, Matt. At running back on our NFL preseason All-Con team is Reuben Drones of the Cleveland Browns.
He assaults opposing defenders with his hard running style and apparently assaults family members as well.
And finally, at quarterback, it's none other than Michael Vick.
Organized the dogfighting ring, funded it, killed some dogs personally. But what a f***ing good athlete.
Well put.
Right now, let's send it down to our roaming recovering reporter, Lewis, who's with Michael Vick and his pit bulls.
Easy.
Now that's what I call an offensive unit with some serious offenses.
Well, that's all the time we have. Thanks for tuning into ESPN's NFL All-Con Team Selection Show. Tune in next week as we select our NFL All-Con cheerleading squad. So long.
131 at 560 WQM. Don't forget, it's Hurricanes game day today, baby, starting at 3:30 after the Mad Dog. We got Hurricanes up the old...
Rectum.
Shoot, boy, we got more Hurricane crap. We got a lot of spots in there, too, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's Joe, and who else is on those games? Joe Zagacki with who? Don Bailey, too?
Yeah, the game's actually Josie and Don Bailey.
Yeah. And
with
a bunch of live spots?
From, with scoreboards from...
Do they each do like 65, 70 live spots during the pregame show?
No.
And then, like, between the snaps in the game. 7-step drop.
Got, like,
if we ever hear that promo again, where he says 7-step drop, I'm going to kill somebody. And maybe I'll kill...
Joe Zagacki.
What?
I can play for you.
No, I don't want to hear it. I'm actually breaking out of my deep depression. Because we sold those certificates now, which took a while. In fact, let's look back on that thing, okay? Let's look back on the page with the stats, because I'm just mailing it in anyway.
Mm-hmm. Emailing it in.
Yeah, we're emailing it in. And let's go to that page. Let's see if it... no, it doesn't go over there.
What do you want to know?
Let's click on this one. Little tiny banner, looks like a Band-Aid. Okay, past deals, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Past deals. Blue Moon Fish Company sold out in 1 hour and 2 minutes, first time. They've been on a couple of times. Then last week we sold them out in 9 minutes, but that was only 50. Fitty. So it's a wide variety here. Now let's see, do we have one that took a long, long time?
1 hour, 55 minutes. Joseph's on the grill.
Joseph's on the water.
Well, yeah, same thing.
Not really.
Joseph is on the grill. Next
I'll let you know.
Jesus and Mary, for crying out loud.
I'm going there tonight, so I'll let you know.
You're going to Joseph's on the water?
Yeah, not on the grill.
Why not? Your ass on the grill. Why not? Hour 55. And then, of course, we said that the reason for that being that nobody knew the place because it was new and it was hard. You couldn't see it from the road and stuff like that. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
There's Swillery looking like a real prissy bitch.
By the Republican Congress back in 1997 when Senator Hillary Clinton was herself in the White House. Very familiar with this program.
That's right.
President Bush this morning issued a veto threat to nationalized, federalized health care. Is that fair?
Well, it's neither fair nor reflective of what the bipartisan support.
Well, what is the big sickness with her, other than her last name is Clinton and she's married to Obama? What is it? I mean, what's the rest of it? What's to like?
That sickness with any of the other
I'm always saying what's not to like. In her case, what's to like?
Nothing.
The Ice Princess.
Mm-hmm.
So now, does it say what we did today with lefties on there yet or not?
1 hour, 20 minutes.
Well, that's not so bad. That's not the all-time longest one. And again, that's because we had 100. River House, 1 hour and 2 minutes, once upon a time. That must have been 100. Correct?
Correct.
So what are you getting all excited about?
I don't know, I'm sorry.
What are you getting all depressed and negatory about? Look on the bright side, you know? Always look on the bright side. Have a big smile on your face, even on payday in your case, which I know isn't easy.
Well, I got kind of a nice payday today.
Why is that?
Because I was 105 hours.
At what, 275?
No, a little bit more than that.
1349 on the poll. I'm telling you, we could have made the 14 easy. Now it's dubious. I don't think we're... I mean, it's possible. It's easy. Everybody's got a favorite burger joint, I would think, unless you're... You know what other category could have put on there? I'm a vegetarian.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's right up your alley. You love those people from...
PETA.
Huh?
Yeah.
Don't you?
Eat a PETA person.
Or I'm not a burger eater.
We could put both. I'm a vegetarian. I'm not a burger eater.
Oh, I'll put them on now.
Like Oprah. Remember that before when she got sued by those goofballs in Texas? And they should have won, by the way. And then come to find out that Dr. Phil was the attorney that won the case. That makes me sick. That just makes me stop cold before putting another burger in my fat mouth, or whatever she said. Remember that? You keep showing that clip. Just stops me cold. Well, I got news for you, honey. You stop me cold. I was watching Jack Cafferty on CNN last night. They had some special hour with him, hour to fill since they canned Paul Lozan's ass. And, I enjoy Jack Cafferty. He's good. Mm-hmm. And he actually has something to say. And then he had Whoopi Goldberg on there, and all of a sudden my channel changed to another station.
Coincidence?
No. It's programmed like that. I can't look at her. I'm sorry. 1353 on there. We could make 1400. We need 47 votes in 25 minutes. That's like 2 a minute. It's a tall order for this crowd, especially the way they're acting up today, man. Act up. That's what they're doing. They're acting up. And Swillery's on there.
Ideas, what I want to do for the future, the agenda that I'm presenting to the American people. You know, this week I came out with a comprehensive health care plan that I think would cover...
And she's starting to sound a little bit like Rita Cosby. I mean, probably she's doing a lot of speaking and stuff like that, but she's starting to get that real scratchy. You know what I mean? Not good. Seriously, anybody who ever wonders about the sanity of mankind and about trying to rationalize things that make no sense at all, just listen to Rita Cosby. Although I don't see her anymore, thank goodness. Maybe that's why viewership is going up on MSNBC. But just watch her for like 10 seconds and listen to her speak and ask yourself, how can this person be in broadcasting? You know, it's like, like that. And like Lenny Martez. How can all these people who can't speak, how could Baba Wawa, who's got this horrible speech defect, make millions of dollars being on television? She can't even say it. How could Tom Brokaw be doing the nightly news and he couldn't even say it? Yeah. Don't confuse this with the facts, Neil. You just, all this crap. I don't understand it. Nice pickup, by the way, over there across the street, Joel. Nice acquisition.
Oh, God.
All those hockey games are going to put you over the top at night, too. See, we talked about it at the time. It's like lunacy. If it fails over there, we take it. If it fails over here, they take it. Like I told you, it's like trading baseball cards. It's like the hot potato. You take them, we don't want them. No, you take them. Like that. Hey, Mikey, maybe Mikey will take him. Mikey likes it. Yeah. Like that. Now, what was that? What cereal? I bet you they have that cereal at the cereal,
Life.
What is it?
Life.
No. Was it Life cereal?
Yeah, Mikey likes it as Life.
No. And what's the name of that? The cereal concoction?
The cereal bowl, who knows?
Oh, it's a cereal concoction.
Okay.
And it really is such a place. Cereal Connection. And I bet you, that's it. I can't eat cereal because it's all carbs, man. And then you put milk on it, and I'm not going to drink cow's milk. You'd have to be a crazy person. 1,357 votes on the poll. 22 till 1. What is it?
You do. You eat ice cream. You eat cheese. You eat cow's milk all the time.
But I don't drink milk.
Oh, okay. That's different.
Not by itself. Yeah, I understand what you're talking about. Milk products, okay? And then you get like all that phlegm in your throat, and you start doing that, unleashing a big crocky, That's what the Orthodox Jews do. They have a big crocky.
Is that what it is?
Oh, yeah. And if you're not Orthodox, like in Brooklyn, they'll come right to your door, and they'll knock on the door and go... Like that.
Mickey Mouse's office. Mickey Mouse speaking.
Mr. Mouse?
Hello?
Oh, I didn't think I was going to get you. This is Robert Iger, President and CEO of the Walt Disney
You don't
Company.
have to give your title every time you call.
I'm sorry, sir. Is everything okay over there? I'm not used to you picking up the
No,
phone.
everything isn't okay. Goofy's in rehab.
Oh, no.
I had to send him to the Cirque Lodge. He's in there with Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, I'm so sorry, sir.
Oh, God. The office is in shambles. I can't find anything.
I didn't realize Goofy had a problem.
Oh, yeah. He's all kind of up.
Boy, that's horrible, sir.
Yeah, it's coke, it's booze, it's weed, it's everything you can think of. It's like the 80s when Chuck Grodin and I used to party pretty good.
Send Goofy my best, sir.
Shut up. What do you want?
Oh, sir, just...
wait a minute. I was going to call you, but I couldn't find your number.
You couldn't?
No, Goofy has some sort of filing system, and I don't know what the hell it is. It was put together by an alcoholic.
Oh, is everything okay?
Do you know Vanessa Hudgens?
Oh, Vanessa Hudgens, yeah, the young star of High School Musical 1 and 2. Sir, is there something wrong with the connection?
Have you seen the pictures of her online?
Pictures online? Oh, she's adorable, isn't she? She's
the nude ones.
What?
She's totally nude.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Where did you see nude pictures of Vanessa
I just told you they're online. Haven't you seen them on your computer?
Unfortunately, I don't know how to turn on my computer.
You what? Hey, Iger, you don't take a town car to work, do you? You take a little tiny yellow short bus. How can you hear me on the phone with a helmet on?
Well, sir, what is it I can help you
with? Take your helmet off and pay attention.
Oh, okay, sir, what is it I can help you with?
Crying out loud. I want Vanessa Hudgens in my office. She's my kind of woman.
Really? She's a bit young for you, sir, no?
No. Have you seen Minnie?
No,
Getting a little long in the tooth. Botox, boob enhancement, plastic surgery on the crow's feet. Killing me.
So you said Vanessa is your type of woman. I don't understand, sir. She's only 18.
After seeing the pictures,
right.
She's my kind of woman because she doesn't own a razor.
Come again?
Oh, God. What, I go too fast for you, Reverend Jim? She's all natural. A lot of tumbleweed south of the border.
Well, yes, sir. I believe in the desert areas there are tumbleweeds.
Oh, no, you functioning moron.
I'm sorry, sir. I really don't understand.
Do you remember the 70s?
Oh, sure, sir. Some of my best days. Had a great time in college.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Did you ever see any porno in the 70s?
Well,
It's a little different than it is now.
Right.
Do you know how? They didn't own razors.
Oh, sir, I understand now. You enjoy women that have hairy legs. That's, to each his own. I understand.
And
okay. Well,
you're a young girl. I just don't get it.
All right. Well, this has been
I like it.
this has been very educational.
Get up here, will you?
Yeah.
I want to have a meeting with it.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, my other line's ringing.
Wait a minute. I say when it's over.
Okay, sir.
It's over.
145. Brandon's me. What I say? Brandon is pushing me to get that 14-hour votes. Push it, but we're not going to do it. We're going to fall short. Sorry, sweetie. 1366. I know we're going to fall short because we need 34 votes in 14 minutes. That's just not going to happen. It's not in the cards, Every time you think the audience is going to come through for you big time. And this poll was on fire, baby. And I thought for sure adding those two categories, I'm a vegetarian, I'm not a burger eater, would a place for people to go. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean by a place for people to go, where it's really hot and it burns all the time. Neither one of those have any votes. They both have the big O, 0. Like I said, we got too bogged down, and if I would have taken my time, we still would have sold out the certificates, right?
Right.
Yeah. My fault. I'll take all the blame for it. Not Chris today.
Okay.
Because he's got a rough day today. He's got to work the next 75 hours. Because Clarence is an idiot and wants to punish you for being on this show and actually being associated with the show. We need 33 votes in 14 minutes. I ain't going to do it. We got 1367 on the burger poll. The Burgermeister. Oh, how I hate to get up in the morning. Isn't that where he says something about the Burgermeister in that song? I don't know what the Burger... Isn't the Burgermeister the bugler or something?
What are you talking about?
The Burgermeister. It's in that song.
What song?
Oh, how I hate to get up in the morning.
Is that like a made-up song or something?
No, it's a army song. Oh, how I hate to get up in the morning. You know that song. It's old. It's from...
you used to sing it when you were in the Army.
What?
You sang it when you were in the Army?
That was before. Don't ask, don't tell.
No, Army Archer used to sing it. Remember Army Archer? He was the movie critic with the big eyebrows, like not as big as Andy Rooney.
Was this on TV or radio?
What?
Was that on TV or radio?
TV, Army Archer.
You sure?
You know, you guys need to get out of the house more.
Yeah, trust me. I'm out of
We
the
need
house
31
plenty.
more votes in 13 minutes. It's not going to happen. Sorry, Brandon. I'm trying my best. I'm pushing. Here's some bad news. New York's got nothing on us. Neither does Chicago, Los Angeles, or Atlanta, says the Sun Sentinel. When it comes to inflation, South Florida has the highest annual rate of the major metropolitan areas tracked by the Federal Bureau of Labor Statistics according to the latest rankings released yesterday. The Miami-Fort Lauderdale annual inflation rate of 3.7% for July and August beats the nation's annual inflation rate of 2% by a long shot. Wow. No wonder they can't afford those certificates, and they can't even afford to vote on the poll. It might cost them something. See, that's the thing I don't understand. It costs nothing to vote on the poll. And just because AOL sucks, and if, 18 people voted in 7,500 blocks around you, you can't vote, that's no excuse. Right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We got 1372. We're going to need 28 in 12 minutes. Not going to happen. We're going to fall just short, and then we'll be depressed. All the rest of the day, we're going to be depressed. Rent and the price of eating out are among the costs that are increasing the most sharply in South Florida, according to the government figures. Oh, that's definitely true, said Vincent Evans, sophomore at FAU, whose budget is straining under the price of gasoline. Thanks again for the low gas prices, Mr. President. Utilities, even fast food. He said he and his friends have mastered the art of figuring out the cheapest fast food items. We are dollar menuers, he said. During the past 12 months, the Bureau of Labor Statistics said rent in the area has jumped 7.4%, far faster than nationwide 4%'s annual pace. Although the figures don't specifically include Palm Beach County, inflation certainly doesn't stop at the county lines. The other measure of housing cost is something called owner's equivalent rent, which economist Karen Ransom said is what a homeowner would charge to rent out his or her house. That figure jumped 9% in South Florida, 3 times the 3% increase nationwide. Why? The government doesn't have an answer. But local landlords have suffered from steep property tax increases as well as insurance cost rises, just as homeowners have. If there's a good thing about the new figures, it's that they aren't going up quite as fast as they were earlier this year. In June, South Florida's inflation was also the highest among major metro areas. The BLS reported prices were climbing at 4.4% annual rate in Miami and Fort Lauderdale. At the recent peak in early last year, prices were rising at a 6.1% annual rate. While South Florida's prices were going up, the Consumer Price Index nationwide actually went down. The national index fell 0.2% in August for the first time it's tumbled since last fall. So in other words, another good reason not to live in South Florida. I don't want to be, negatory. Chamber of Commerce will get really upset with me about that. And it would be the first time, too. So how are we doing on there? We're going to make that 1,400? Not. 1,300 and what?
79.
We need 21 votes in 10 minutes. That's just 2 a minute. You folks could do it if you pile on. And we have one vegetarian and one not a burger eater.
All right.
Yeah, see, those categories helped us. Well, I mean, if we just barely make it by the skin of our ass, it'll be because we added those categories. Wouldn't you think we have a whole bunch of vegetarians on there?
I imagine.
No. Only
couple.
One. You think?
There has
3?
to be.
Only one so far. And we're not making any progress on there. We've got 9 minutes and we need 21 votes. That's over 2 a minute. Not going to happen, Brandon.
20.
I'm so sorry. 1380, we need 20. This is really pushing it right to the limit, boy. People could do it. If these people really cared enough to send their very best in typical non-South Florida fashion, easily we could do the 1,400 for the second time this week. And give us a good feeling, a good rosy feeling about life. Wouldn't you feel better?
18.
George wouldn't, because he doesn't care.
That's
Chris
right.
does, because this is his bailiwick. 1382.
His
bailiwick.
Whaley Bick.
Whaley what?
Whaley
Bick.
Jennings.
I'm looking at this poll from Charlie
15.
B about the... What do we need?
15.
In 9 minutes.
They're coming in
less than
chunks.
2 a minute now. Now they're coming through. They just wanted to put Brandon through a lot of angst here in the end. 1385. We're still alive, baby. We got exactly 8 minutes. It's 1:52 in the big city. Here's the result of the poll so far, just the top few. The best burgers came from Fuddruckers 281, Char Hut 208. Those two have been way ahead of the pack ever since. Steak and Shake 111 and Wendy's 111. We can't separate the two. White Castle 97, In-N-Out 96. Nice job, thank you, Eric. Eric got Arnold's off of there. Royal Castle 90. Rudy 64. Rudy's is making some good inroads there.
13.
Checkers or Rallies 40. 41, Burger King 39, Hardee's 33, Crystal 28, and then on down from there. McDonald's, Mickey D's only 24. Jack in the Box 22. Who's in last place? Oh, I'm a vegetarian 1 and hot and now 3, and I'm not a burger eater 3. 4. Well, excuse us, okay? Probably eating Chateaubriand every day. They're not going to lower themselves to be eating boogers. So what do we got? We got 13. What do you tell me?
1387.
We need 13 in 7 minutes. I think we got a can-do attitude, which means it won't happen.
88.
Well, we're trying for you, Brandon, whatever your name is. 153 at QM.
In Miami town at 560 WQAM.
Hello?
Miss Peterson.
Yes?
Hi, this is Bob Williams down at Sawyer's, Bob's boss.
Oh, hi, how are you?
How are you today?
Fine.
Are you sitting down?
Yes?
I'm afraid I have some bad news for you.
What do you mean bad news?
I understand that Bob's been with us for almost 20 years now. And
Bob's okay, isn't he?
Bob's fine.
Oh.
A little upset, but fine. He's been a good worker for us. He's made all his quotas. His bonuses have always been in line. But we're going to have to let him go. And
what do you mean?
We're going to have to fire him. And unfortunately, being the boss, sometimes you have to do things that you're not very pleased doing.
Wait, that's not very fair. He's been very loyal to you.
Yes, he has.
That's like a slap in the face.
I can imagine you feeling that way, absolutely. But
Feeling that way? You don't understand. We just had a baby.
yes, I
we
do
have
understand.
bills up the yin-yang.
Understood.
This is a very hard time to do this kind of a thing.
I fully agree with you, but there's something that's happened down here at the office that we can't overlook. It's an image problem and a problem that you might want to address yourself. I don't know quite how to tell you, though.
Why are you firing him? What specific reason? What did he do?
It's a little delicate. Unfortunately, we found him on top of his desk making love to his secretary.
Oh, that son of a bitch!
Well, I can understand you're being upset at this point, but...
Upset is not the word. That stupid, rotten son of a bitch. I can't believe this.
Well, he's going to need your support through this.
Support my
All right, right now he's on his way home to you, and
his way home to me?
Yes.
He's got another thing coming when he gets home. I'm going to change the locks on the door. I'm throwing his outside on the front lawn.
1405.
He can just have it all. I'm not even going to be here when he gets back. That son of a bitch. And now, I don't feel so bad about his brother.
Bye.